Welcome, my friends, to the Baking It Down with Sugar Cookie Marketing Podcast. We have officially healed from the day that shall not be named.
I really feel like deleting the 7 days to claim spreadsheet did something good for my mental
It
health.
was the final bastion.
The final countdown. Anyways, we're here with a fun topic. Corey loves to do this topic. I even had a different topic and she said absolutely not. It is the
Well,
gifting episode.
it's a gifting episode. So if you haven't heard, this is the Baking It Down with Sugar Cookie Marketing Podcast. We are from a group that's on Facebook, 50,000 Bakers strong. But it is December 9th. And nigh is the time to order those special things for your baker. So I want to say the bakers who are listening right now is the time to turn up your volume. Take
This is
yourself out of your earphones. We want this to radiate through the home. So
this should be the highest listened to podcast accidentally left on repeat for the next 24 hours. Because I
play it
think
in the car, play
we've
it in
got a
your
really
home.
good list for you guys.
It's a listy. Me and Heather just went through, and we are going to email you this list in the Wednesday newsletter. So if you accidentally forward it to someone in your life, the links are there, the pricing is there. It's easy, bo breezy.
Listen, if someone says, "How did I get this email?" and I'll be like, "Listen, AI accidentally probably signed you up, but have you taken a look at what your baker may want?" So we've broken this down into four categories. We have stocking stuffers, and that's going to be $50 or less.
Yeah, something
Kind of
easy. If you were, someone, a friend buying for you in your life, you could just send them just this top part of the list.
definitely send them the whole list because you just don't know if
You don't
someone's
know
in
if
a
someone's in the
giving
giving
mood.
spirit.
What I'm going to say though is we tried to make a list of things that not every baker has, and if you do have them, you probably need replacements for. So nothing will be too bad on this list. You wouldn't be like, "Oh, I already have this." It'd be something like, "Oh, I already have this and I need a refill."
Yeah.
We have under the tree. This is between $50 and $500, wide range, but you'll see why. Subscriptions, which are digital in nature, so we have a little category for them, and then we have Santa's favorite, and that's 500 and up.
Yeah, there's no cap. That's if you've
That
been a
means you are
really good
real.
baker this year.
You never cursed a single client's name. You only were gracious the whole year, and
Your
Santa
cookies were
saw.
made with sugar and spice and
And
literally everything nice.
and nothing, the nails and puppy dog tails. So let's start with the stocking stuffer, shall we?
Sure.
I'm gonna do like an every other.
Uh-huh. I need
And
attention.
then you guys will be happy. Corey, against my will, made us write down the prices of these things.
I
So
did. I said at the end of the day, the links are one thing, but we don't want someone to be like, sticker shock. So we put the price so someone can predetermine what links they want to click.
So, Corey, start us off with this first guy. Now, we actually posted a list in, or we posted a call to action in the cookie group, and this is what a lot of bakers kind of said they thought it was pretty neat.
No, you have to lead the charge. I don't know how to share my screen with both our faces and the list.
No,
So
oh, you
you
can't
are reading
see
the
the
list.
list. Oh, yeah, I have that. Well, that should be on your wish list. I got a second monitor from Dell, so now my laptop can play two places. I'm a second monitor girly.
I'm
If
a single monitor because I know where it is, girly.
Let me see all things. If I could do 20 monitors, I probably would. Just
Just
want to
surrounded
see
by
what's going on.
monitors.
Okay, we have the Cookie Countess flour funnel, and
Okay,
that
so
is 24.99.
so what the flour funnel is it funnels your flour. It honestly looks like a tornado. It's 3D printed from the Cookie Countess and it hooks onto the side of your mixing bowl so that when you need to add flour in the stage of your recipe that says add flour, instead of having it, fluff out and get everywhere, you use this flour funnel and it funnels it right in there in a small little hole versus just having to plop it in there and just getting covered with flour yourself.
Hey,
That was a
Pop.
great stocking
A
stuffer.
lot of people recommended it, and the few people that are like, I've been looking at it, they were like, "Oh, you're gonna love it," right?
I
Now,
think
I
people
don't think
must love it because it's patent pending.
patent pending, but I don't think you have one. So why wouldn't you have had one yourself? Because you sent me a picture the other day where it was all fluffed out.
Yeah, that's because I mostly just use my Bosch and it doesn't fit on the sides of the Bosch from my
Very good
understanding.
point. I
Yeah.
wonder if they'll be thinking of one. However, Bosch is a bottom fed mixer versus the KitchenAid, the top
Yeah.
head. So the spinny thing, the hooks kind of get in the way.
Yes.
Am I using the word right?
The
Hooks?
spinny
The
thing.
spinny
Yeah,
things.
hooks, the
And
dough
this would be,
hooks.
and
Yeah,
it's 3D
paddle
printed,
attachment.
so it's pretty cool. And for 24.99, I think most bakers don't have one, but they'd be interested in one.
And I think it's a newer thing. So I think a lot of bakers don't have one just because it's newer.
Also, though, I'm going to say heads up, if it's 3D printed, you're not washing that in
You're
the
hand washing
dishwasher.
it.
This one I thought Corey came up with, it was pretty good, and it always creeps onto this list when we do it, is a local massage gift card. Now, no price range on this one because you probably could find them for any denomination, but find a local, highly rated massage studio and then buy your baker gift card because who don't want that tension between the shoulders?
Yeah, if you're listening to this and you aren't the baker that turned this up loudly, bakers hold a lot of tension right between the shoulder blades.
But yeah, any back arm massage right between the
Yeah.
shoulder blades,
Hand
neck
massage,
area.
a foot massage.
Oh, foot massage, not bad either.
Yeah.
Lower
Yeah,
back
because
if
you're on your
you
feet.
sit like a shrimp.
Yeah.
It would be a
So a
good one.
massage gift card and find one. And one, I would say, just if you're listening to this, asking in a local group of a local massage place.
Corey's gonna turn
One,
it into
I'm gonna
marketing.
turn it into marketing, and that's a great way to put money back in your own economy and scratch on the back of someone who's scratching yours, literally.
I see what you did there. Okay, this one actually creeps up on the list every time we do this. Vanilla beans, and specifically, I'm gonna slaughter this. Injury Vanilla. Now, that's a Facebook group run by this company, and it is bar none the best vanilla I've ever seen recommended. People who love it get it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's
but
$38.
you can get it from Vanilla Bean Kings. I know that I started making my own vanilla back in May, and it's been a great teacher's gift every December. And people say that they like it. And I just had my husband smell it, and it smelled delicioso.
Corey gave one
Um,
to my boyfriend, and he has oddly kept it. So it's kind of a universal gift. Okay, but we're not talking about giving the gift, but this is a great teacher's gift.
yes, a great teacher's gift. But
Very
if you want to
nice.
make your own vanilla, that is what you would need is vanilla beans. But I think they do sell vanilla extract and vanilla bean
Oh
paste.
yeah, there
And
was a lot in that store.
yeah, I love using it. Yeah.
Can't go wrong giving bakers something that they use and need more of. I think
Yeah.
that's always the safe bet because here's the problem. When you guys get into hobbies and then us normal people have to gift you, we're gifting you the stuff you probably definitely already have.
Yeah,
And that's
because
always like a waste.
you don't know the nitty gritty. So
The
you're like,
nitty
I don't
gritty.
know, this cookie cutter from Ann Clark that we all started off with. Yeah, probably have it.
But vanilla beans, every baker's gonna be like, oh my goodness, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, you added this one. You were very passionate about it. Small spatula. First of all, it was said small spatulars for icing, and then you went back and changed it to spatulas. But I
Smell
like the
them old
spatulars.
spatulas. Okay, I use these small spatulas all the time for my royal icing. So they're the bee's knees, and I know that every baker has them. I know if you think back to the event that shall not be named, a lot of shops also had these small ones. So they're just so handy and they last so long.
But I know that bakers kind of go through spatulars. They walk off the kitchen counter and
They
disappear
do.
forever. So it's a decent bet. It's definitely cost effective for sure.
These
You
are
got
all
10.99.
these are all silicone. I don't necessarily like the spatulars that have a wooden base
What
because
does a
sometimes
wooden-based spatula do to you?
it sucks up oil sometimes. I
Oh,
don't like it. Butter and things like that. Harder to clean.
that's a good one. Do you think if you gave it to most bakers, they'd be like, "Oh, great," or they'd be like, "Oh, I have plenty of these,"
I
or
have 24 of them, so I would always take more.
Okay, great. Okay, now this one I like the AmeriColor student kits. So they have three different colors of student kits, AmeriColor does,
Yeah.
and they're
Primary, I'm sure
28,
is
25.
one.
Another
That's
great,
great.
a great example of something you're definitely going to go through and use.
Oh,
Oh,
and I want to say every color comes from the primary set. So if you needed a Wedgwood, I just always Google how do I get Wedgwood from a primary color? And Google
ah,
always gives me a little tip and a trick to get there.
that's a good one. Now, so if somebody doesn't use AmeriColor, would they still want a gift of AmeriColor?
Oh, I don't know. Some people like the Chef Master brand, the Sugar Art brand. It just comes down to what's easiest for you. I just have this little case that holds Americolor very well, and it's where I started, so I've never strayed away.
For 28.25, it may be a nice gift to let a baker have an option should, during the event that shall not be named, I gave away three of those and one of the winners was like, I've never used them before, but I'm excited that I get to try them
Oh,
out in this kit. So
interesting. Yeah.
I think it could go. I think any baker would be like, okay. And then if they don't like them, you can always use it for your DIY kit.
Your DIY kits.
Corey treats DIY kits like a redheaded stepchild for
It's
some
my
reason.
it's my way to unload on everything, to
Yeah.
really offload what I have.
Okay, this one is neat. It was actually from the event that shall not be named, but our little sister loves them, these mopped phone stands. And they've partnered with bakers to show you how you can kind of do a quick and easy phone mount for video recording.
Yeah,
Like
so it actually is a magnet and it hooks onto to the back of your phone. So if you don't have a case that
MagSafe.
has the MagSafe, you'd want to have the case. I'm sure it has a sticker that comes with it. I just have a MagSafe case, and it sets your phone up that you could take small clips, whether you're making video content showcasing your local area, like you went to a restaurant or something like that, or you're taking your own video content of you decorating a cookie or something like that. It just
Right.
hooks onto your phone, so you always have it.
39.99, not a bad bet. I think some people are like wide open to like, hey, I know I need to make content. I don't know which stand to use. I don't want to buy like something expensive like shop canvas. So for 39, not chump change for the how this case
Not.
is.
I actually have them right here.
Demonstrate for the YouTubers what he looks like.
YouTubers, here's what it looks like. It's so small. Do you see? And it opens like this. This is where it hooks onto the back of your phone. And it comes with this small stand. Why? There you go.
There you
And
go.
this is where your phone would
So
be
you
right
see,
here.
it's not going to be the most professional. Like you're not going to be like, and then and scene Tom Cruise walk off set. It's going
Yeah.
to be like just good enough. And for 39.99, I think it is an interesting gift, and I think a lot of bakers would like to try it out.
Yeah. So that you can't go wrong with that. And it
Can't
would
go
be
wrong.
on your phone all the time. So you'd be able to use it.
Okay,
And
this one, buzzword, natural dyes. So we
yeah.
had the Americolor, which I don't believe are natural dyes, but you can see the industry is trying to scooch over there. So you have Sugar Art and Prism Co. Now $12 a bottle, $11 a bottle for these natural dyes, worth
Not
a
cheap.
gift, like buying one or two for a stocking
Yeah.
stuffer and letting a baker. Now, there's a massive, what I'm understanding, learning curve to getting natural dyes to punch up in color as the, what do we call them? Unnatural dyes?
Typical gels.
So getting a few of those for the baker in your life would be an interesting gift. And I think most people either would like to step into that or at least know a little bit of the
Yeah.
science behind it and say that they've tried it. So helping a baker get these, and I think they would like to try them out for the next year. You don't have to buy the whole set because that will move this up from the stocking
Yeah.
stuffer category.
If you're listening to this and you're like, should I get them white? Don't. I would get them a color to test. It's hard
Right.
to test with white because your royal icing's just naturally white. Red's a great one.
Good.
Green. We have Valentine's Day coming up in the new year. So pink and red would be a great one.
And that's always an interesting marketing pitch is like, hey, I'm adding an upsell of dye-free options,
Yeah.
especially so if the dye-free ban or if the dye ban goes into effect in 2027, we got 1 year to prep for it. And I'm not trying to do any spook things, but that'd be a nice year to develop that ability. And then this year, instead of saying like I've gone, there's that messaging where dye food coloring is bad. That would be limiting to me. I would say I have an option to upsell you on a
Yeah.
higher tier call for natural dye free
Yeah.
colors. So that's how I would message that one. Cookie cutter shop gift card. Can't go wrong with this because and I know, okay, in our family, we always say gift cards aren't fun to unwrap, but it's what everybody wants, you
Yeah.
know?
At the end of the day, a gift card, you can't go wrong because the baker's going to buy whatever they don't already have, and you're not left to guessing.
Right. So, cookie cutter shops, a lot of them have it.
Yeah.
Does Etsy have a gift card
Yeah,
option?
they have a generic gift card that can be used throughout Etsy.
And people would really like it.
And you did jump forward because Etsy gift card is on the list.
Oh, it's the next one. I'm so sorry. So either way, okay, well, let me ask you, in the mind of a baker, would you rather an Etsy gift card or a specific shop gift card?
Okay, so if you're a die-hard shop that you love, you'd probably want the shop gift card. If you're out there like wanting to learn about new shops, an Etsy gift card is a great way to learn new shops that maybe you don't know that may be newer to Etsy. And I love shopping on Etsy. I don't mind if it's a shop I've never heard of. If they have what I want, I'm going to shop there. So an Etsy gift card would work well for me. Plus, your
Okay,
favorite shops are on Etsy. A lot of them have an Etsy
fair.
shop as well.
Fair. I always tell folks this, if you have a favorite shop and they have an Etsy site and a personal site, I would always encourage you to shop from their personal site better because they spend less in fees. So, if the money's got to go
And
somewhere, might as well go to the
And
producer.
their personal sites, a lot of them have rewards programs. Americolor
Fair.
has rewards programs. Cuts has a rewards program. So if you buy from their site, you can get free stuff eventually.
I don't shop on Etsy often, but I was shopping I only did it around Christmas time, but I put all the stuff in the cart so I don't forget it. And then I get pummeled with extra discounts. So a strategy there is maybe add a bunch of stuff to cart and see what happens.
That's what
Don't
I
check
do.
out. Just wait a couple weeks. Now, here's another gift card option. It's more specific. It's a very interesting one. Corey and I do not use this service, but you guys recommend it a lot. An Uber Eats gift card for those busy baking days.
Yes. Yeah. If you want food delivered, the kids are crazy. You're working late on a set. An Uber Eats gift card might be what you need. Or you could do like something like Papa John's. They do delivery, things like that.
Anything that the baker's busy and they're hungry or the kids are screaming, and this would take something off their plate by
Yeah.
putting something on their plate.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I think these gift cards are a great, like, no muss, no fuss idea for definitely the tertiary baker, like the baker, you're
Yeah.
like, I'm not really related to this person, but I want to get him something that makes sense, but I don't want to buy
Yeah.
him something like too much
Yeah.
personal. So those gift card ideas are great stocking stuffers. Digital classes. Now, this one's you got to kind of know your baker a little bit, but Miller's Wife, Be Still Bakery, Paisley Sweets is what we have listed here. You can find, they also, I'm pretty sure, also have gift cards as well. You could either buy them the specific class or a gift card to a class and have people, because I think every baker would like to be like, oh, I'd like to increase my skills.
Yeah. And that's for the baker who you're like, they've been at it for a while. So maybe they'd be able to learn something new. And a learn thing is a gift that lasts a lifetime.
And a lot of these ones, especially these three, I think, have intermediate to advanced classes. So I think
Yes.
most bakers, even if you're like, well, they seem pretty good at it, there's always a technique out there that's sneaking up that you would like to try.
Yeah.
Uh,
That'd be florals for me. This,
and I
yes.
think Miller's Wife is queen of florals. These last six ones we just said, which is the all the digital gift cards or classes, are great for the minimalist in your life.
Yeah.
When you don't want to
Yeah.
clutter it up, but you want to give them something that's useful. The gift
I want to
cards.
say I've never met a baker that's a minimalist just for the fact of what you have to be a baker.
A hobby will take you to the ground and then fill up your
Uh-huh.
storage closet.
Uh-huh.
Okay, hand-related skincare. This one you guys recommended actually every year we've ever done this. Duke Cannon's Bloody Knuckles hand cream is $11. I don't think anybody's going to be like, no, I'd like to keep my dry hands. So
Yeah.
I think, and it's usable, especially Corey said the other day that her hands are just look
So
destroyed.
dry, destroyed.
Have you been drinking your water?
I did drink water the last 2 days.
Your body's like, what is this nectar of the
It's
gods?
running to her fingers.
So hand-related skincare, now there's obviously a ton of options. Just for some reason, everyone likes this Duke Cannon's Bloody Knuckles hand cream. But I've seen like if you go to Walmart in the hand care section, there's always something that's called like corn huskers. It's something
Yeah.
that's green and it's something about like
Farmer's
farmer's dry
Almanac.
hands. Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. So I don't think you can go wrong. And as long as you explain to them like, oh, I've listened to this podcast for bakers and they said that bakers always get dry hands around the wintertime, especially when you have to tie, rubber band them ever loving acid bags.
Yeah, that's what did this to these poor little creatures.
And it's just so dry on the side.
It
My
is.
hair
It's
is
so
looking great. My
dry.
hands are looking barbaric. Perforated baking mats. Now, Chua Cookie has them for 10 to $16. Cookie Cutter by Nori has them between 10 and $20. And Amazon also has them as well. Question.
Those are the two brands that I tried and I know work.
Right. I know
Right.
there's a big thing in the perforated baking mat world of the rounded edges based off your pan. Now, there's the reason why this has a range is there's sizing options. So
Yes.
you'd almost need to know that the baker hit their pan size.
Yeah, and you could ask them what your
Tell me
pan
what size your
size,
pans are.
Quetta, Alad's, something
Right.
like
So
that.
it is if you are a child of a baker, you could sneak into the kitchen and measure those bad boys.
Yes, yeah,
And I
but
think
you
on
want to
these,
make sure, and I know where Heather's going. You want to make sure that you measure them. I like cookie cutters by Nori and Chew a Cookie because they have rounded edges.
now
Or
what Corey's saying is
Nori has a cut edge, Chew a Cookie has rounded edges. And the reason being is some people will say, I cut mine down to size. You can't. You can't.
apparently these are comprised of something that includes fiberglass, and you cannot cut fiberglass without creating a massive problem. So you definitely need to make sure that they're measured the right way, and if they're not, then don't cut them
Yeah,
down.
and I'm honestly sure that if you bought your baker one, they'd buy a pan to match that
Right. The
size.
pan's the easy one to
Yeah.
adjust. Now, question, once you have these, do you not need them anymore? Do you not need more? Like is
Not for years. They can
oh,
last
for
for
years.
years and years.
Okay, so if you see the best tell for this one is if your baker is the baker in your life is going through a lot of parchment sheets, they probably don't have perforated baking mats. But
Yeah.
perforated baking mats, and I like to demonstrate them when we're in class, create a nice even baking on the bottom side of the cookie for a more even bake through.
Just a nice, even distribution of heat during the baking process. So your cookies bake evenly and have a nice design on the butt.
I always tell people in cookie class, like at the point that you're worried about the butt side of your cookie, you know you're good. You know you've arrived. Okay, this one I really like. This one's kind of a gender neutral one. If you have a 3D printer in your house, can't go wrong with more filament because you're
Yeah.
always going to use up filament. And if you're wondering what most bakers use, it's going to be PLA basic filament. So there's a many types of filament. So you can't just order whatever. Are you yawning?
A little yardage.
Are
Let me
you
take a little dry it, a
yawning?
little dry it. Oh,
So, printer filament, I like bamboo's filament because I have bamboo printer. The bamboo printer can talk to its filament. Now, I don't believe yours, Corey. You have the bamboo A1 Mini, which we're going to talk about in a second. I don't think it can
yeah.
read its printer, but anything that's PLA basic is good for me. That's kind of what I'm fine with. I can just use it. It's not complicated. I don't have to adjust any settings. I can just go press print and go on with that. So, buying those, 19.99. I think they're on sale now if you go to the Bamboo Lab store. Otherwise, Amazon has a bunch of
Question,
PLA
does
options.
bamboos come in different colors? Like, or they have every color under the rainbow?
So many colors. Now, this is where bakers get a little tripped up. When you want iridescent, sparkly
Yeah.
see-through, it may not be PLA basic. So when you get to the more like aesthetic looking type, PLA silk, like that's not just the word to use to describe what it looks like. It's a different type of filament.
Oh, I
When you start
see.
getting a little crazy and fancy, you've introduced more question marks into your print quality. And now we have to start saying heat bed, nozzle
I
heat,
know.
what this, that,
I
and the other.
From someone who's collected cutters for years now, the just standard PLA cutters last so much longer. When it's that like almost like iridescent see-through and it looks more plasticky,
Uh-huh.
those break eventually. Even if I haven't
Uh-huh.
used them, like the bottom cutting wall will break right off.
I mean, once you step into the world, and I'm just an absolute noob. I just like to read when people get flamed in the comment sections. But once you step into that and they're like printing car parts, you can't just print a car part with any filament because
Yeah.
its exposure to heat and UV light will degrade it and it will melt it.
Yeah.
So like there is a type of filament. So if you want to say PLA basic, I don't think any baker will tell you no.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
a workhorse of filaments.
A
They're gonna
little
get in
workhorse.
there, they're gonna
It's
print.
gonna make it and it's gonna be good.
Okay, this one. Corey and I are not this, but well, actually, Corey, you know it's a good one. Hold up your Yeti bottle, your Yeti cup cooler. You just had it? No, no, no. You're
Oh,
sitting right there using it. What was that attitude for?
I
And
thought
where
you
were
were
you gonna
gonna.
roll off to?
You got me that big old one that says mixing bowl. That's
Oh,
with
that was
laser.
funny.
Yeah,
I know
he's a
these
big one.
Yeti Coke can coolers, and now they have them for the little skinnier cups too. But they opened a Yeti store at Tyson's, and Corey and I bought everybody one of those. I like them. If you're a Diet Coke drinker, if you're not, a coffee mug warmer was highly recommended at 17.99. Tons of options on Amazon. But kind of think of the baker who likes their morning coffee, but then is piping, then goes back and the coffee is cold or the
Yes.
tea or whatever you want to do it. And then you can put the coffee mug on these warmer. And was ceramics is what it works through, right?
Yeah, and I don't drink coffee, so I just found one that was highly rated on Amazon, so I don't think you could go wrong with that. And it came in two colors.
So basically, if you know a baker and that baker is just pummeling themselves with caffeine, probably a decent gift that I don't think any baker would be like, oh no, I got this. Like I think they'd
Yeah,
be like, oh, my coffee can stay warmer while I'm doing this whole set.
right,
Because once you're
right.
knee deep in royal icing, you can't just necessarily always take that break.
I know. And to have your warm coffee being warm while you're there so you don't have to leave and go down to like to your microwave and everything, that's probably
Great
the best
stocking
things.
stuffer at sub $20 on that one. Moving on.
Yes.
That was our stocking stuffers. The sub 50 was that category. So anything you heard us list here is going to be under 50. Now, these are our workhorse gifts. These are under the tree between 50 and 500, wide range, such as life, right? This
Yeah.
podcast would go on forever, but I think this is a nice solid list. Okay. Baker's sheet pan rack. Now that's $395. I don't think you have one of those.
I don't because I don't have the room for it. But people who do have the room, it's handy dandy what it does, and you need to make sure that the pan size is right. It will hold a full size baking sheet pan, and you can actually put your cookies on there that are drying, and you could stack them upwards. They have little cases that could go on them to like protect them from dust and children who like the taste of cookies and things like that.
There.
It is a space taker upper.
If you had a dedicated cookie room or a brick and mortar, I don't think any baker will put their nose up
Yeah.
at these baking racks,
I know.
baking
People
sheet
who
pan
like
racks.
who are cottage home bakers who like use their dining room, you would love that because you have more
Yes.
space.
Now, my thought though, aren't they always typically on wheels?
They are movable. They are
So
movable,
if you
but they
have a
have locks
carpet,
though, I think.
right? But if you're
Yeah.
carpeted, it'd be a little different. Either way, if you need that much space, if you're doing high volume, you're gonna love
Yeah.
this. That
Um
sticker shock though.
I want to say that Webstaurant had one and it was 150, but I think Webstaurant you have to have an account and they have a 7 day trial. So you could get around and get there, but I just wanted an easy click that didn't have you jump through fire hoops to
Okay,
get to
very
the
nice.
order.
So lots of options. However, we're just going to link to the Uline option for
Yeah.
this current podcast. And I'm going to give you guys this sheet in the Wednesday newsletter with all the hyperlinks already there. So you can definitely print it out and leave it absolutely everywhere in your house and just be like, I don't know how that got there. Maybe
If it's
the
on the fridge and you take your kid's artwork down to put that up, I'm not
maybe you
judging.
can say the elf on the shelf got into the printer and accidentally
Yeah.
printed off
What
50
is
of these.
this? What did he print off this little
I don't know
scenario
what he's
again?
up to. He's a little crazy man. Okay, Americolor. You smell the Americhlor. Gosh,
America.
you drop that. Oh, let me pick it up for you, girl.
America lore.
The Americolor Nifty 50. The Americolor Nifty 50. Now, Americolor has a bunch of different sets, and that's a really cool thing
Yes.
because you can save a little bit of money. They have the Nifty 50. And did you add the Heavenly Seven?
I didn't add the Heavenly 70 because technically, if you got the Nifty 50, and I've bought in both in my time as a baker, the Nifty 50 honestly is the one that you're going to utilize. The Heavenly 70 like has stone, ash, concrete, and those
Ah.
are technically all very close.
Didn't I buy you a Heavenly 70 once for
You
Christmas?
did to like launch me
I
into
want to tell you,
my
and it was such a great gift. However, it comes in just a box, right? And it comes in a box. If you hold the box at any iteration that's not perfectly centered, the millions of colors fall
You know
out.
what? I still have that box. It looks bedragged, but that's where I store it
Because
in
how
was
else
that
are you
little
going
box.
to?
I
Because
know.
it's 70. Well, I got you that 70. It's 70 of those little vials.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the Nifty 50, you're going to cover most of the basics. The student kits only have six, so we went from six to 50, and that's
50.
$124.25. Great for the heavy lifting gift for the baker that you put under the tree. Just make sure you put
Yeah.
it on the street very centered,
Yeah.
very straight. Don't bend a corner at all.
You would
Uh,
think those little gel bottles are lightweight together, combined.
uh-uh.
They got some weight
Uh-huh.
behind them.
That's why the box just flumpled in on itself and just
Yeah,
caught. I mean,
yeah.
I said, wow, this is
He doesn't
frustrating.
have sides. He doesn't the top doesn't have a lock-in part, you know.
No, it doesn't. Photography backers. Now there's obviously the backers code and the code sugar cookie still gets you 25% off if you want to use that. Very cool stuff. Replica surfaces is actually a little bit more expensive, but just two options for you there.
Yeah, there's more that you can actually find on Etsy if you wanted to. Those are the two bigger brands that I've used that I know and like. Replica Surfaces has a ton of crazy different designs. Like if you wanted to look like a garden patty
I think
or
like
your
sparkly
window,
windows. Yeah.
but they
So
also have just standard whites, blacks, in the colors and those things
what
like
I'm
that.
gonna say is if you're buying this for somebody else, you're buying for yourself, in which case you're the best Santa you ever had. Don't get anything reflective. It may be
Yeah,
tempting, it may look nice in the
I
imagery. It's
know.
going to be hell on earth, heck on earth
Yeah,
to
but
get
the
that.
thing is, people don't realize like you have like lights on the ceiling and it's reflecting that into your photo.
It is. So a lot of times I think maybe they say like, oh, it can bounce a reflective product. Great for like photography of like single products, but when we're just fighting our cellophane, the
Yeah,
packaging, it adds. And I always get the question,
I
how do I
know.
Photoshop this out? It's a pain.
I
So try to
know.
get something that is matte finished.
Yes.
I'm loving this one. 3 years ago when we did this, we had not this option. This is a new option. And Corey's obviously a huge fan. The 3D printer, specifically the Bamboo A1 Mini. Right now it's on sale. So if you
Here's what
bought it
it
now,
its
oh
little
yeah,
footprint is tiny. He's a tiny
YouTubers,
little boy.
YouTubers like, and Corey doesn't have the AMS add-on, although that is on sale as well. AMS means you can switch different colors. We have one for the printer downstairs, but I've never installed it because
To
I'm just
me,
like one in, one out.
yeah, to me, I don't want to figure something out else out in the storage. You see, I'm in a small little cookie room. Storage matters.
Right. So that Bamboo A1 Mini, aside from being just great on the price, and I really do like the software. And yes, if you upgraded your software, you're having a problem, so you have to figure out how to roll it back.
Yeah.
They're always pushing out new software updates, and it's created really slow print times for cookie cutters.
Oh,
Right. So I
interesting.
actually wait till until they're threatening me with updates before I
Oh,
update
that's so
mine until they
funny.
worked out all the kinks. However, Bamboo is still by and large so much better than any ender I've ever touched. And
Yeah,
there's
no,
many options for 3D printers now, but Bamboo A1 Mini at 219 bucks, not bad at all. Corey can attest it's for 15 minutes to set up and it is a workhorse. You are fever pitchly printing. Although I didn't notice you print anything this week.
I printed. No, I didn't print because I printed it all last week. So I was good to go for this week. And now I have to bake the things that I printed.
Always that
Otherwise, it
other
becomes a
cost.
hoarding situation. We don't want that.
Okay, here's one. I think that you'll easily know if a baker has it if they do any printed cookies. So it's an Eddie refill printer cartridge. Not cheap, 138, but definitely a great under the tree gift for any baker with an Eddie because they're going to need to buy one of those eventually.
I know that if a baker opened a gift of an Eddie refill print cartridge, they'd be pleasantly surprised.
But I think they'd also be like, you really know me. You really understand me.
Yeah.
You
The thing
really paid
about
attention.
if you don't have an Eddie or if you just got one, the thing about Eddie is he says that he's out of ink, but he'll go and off and print another 400 cookies off of his we're out of ink thing.
But that like musical chairs of when is he
Yeah.
finally going to actually
Yeah.
be out
So
of
you
it?
need one that's ready to go because you don't want to be mid-set and it's like we really don't have any more of this type of ink. And then
And
you'll be like,
listen,
oh no.
every single one of you Eddie owners out there, I know you know that that Eddie ink cartridge has an expiration date. Whether or
He tells
not,
you. Oh, every
well,
time you log in, he'll be like, listen, girly pop, this is old.
so I think if you know somebody with an edible Eddie food printer, again, it's got to be the Eddie one. A printer cartridge would be a nifty little gifty.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that was a
Definitely an under
great
the
one.
tree. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it would really demonstrate that you know your baker pretty well. A dehydrator. Now, let me ask you this, Corey. If the bake here's dehydrators are great in that a lot of bakers don't have them until they're working at scale, at volume. But when you have
Yes,
one, it really speeds it up. Now, let me ask you this. I see you have a dehydrator behind you. Is that the one you've linked to here from
it
Cabela's?
is. It's the only one I've ever had, so it's the only one I ever
If you're wondering
known.
why Cabela's, the hunting shop, has dehydrators, it's for beef jerky, but as long as you never put beef in it, you
Yeah.
can dry your cookies. Now, if somebody gave you another one, you already had one, would you be disappointed or would you be like, I can use two?
No. Mostly because I don't, you can see he's not a little dude. Look how much space he
No.
takes up. The thing is, if you have, the baking sheet the rack that we talked about,
Yes.
I used my guy for that more often than turning him on.
Oh,
If
you use them as a storage. So you would want to or no?
No, I wouldn't want to because I just don't have the space for another one to sit. But there's 10 trays in there, minus the one my husband threw away. And when
I
I said,
remember
Do you
that.
even use your brain? But there's 10 and he can hold 12 cookies per 10
Oh,
things.
he's
So
big.
yeah, look how ginormous it is.
I don't know.
I'm
Next
very,
to your head, he looks small.
yeah, no, he's a big dude. He's a big dude. A big footprint for my tiny cookie room.
Now, do you use him to speed up the decorating process?
Yeah, so if I get last minute Eddie orders, that is how you can get the icing to
Oh,
dry. Because if you're not familiar with Eddie, the icing needs to be dry before you bag it, or it will smear. So that's a great way to take last minute orders is your
okay.
dehydrator.
I got it. Are you using him for just custom decorating?
I use them for custom decorating on last minute orders to speed it up.
Okay, so would you recommend it for the average baker a year in who doesn't have one?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna ask
Yes.
you, I'm so sorry, and we're gonna go back through this. I'm gonna ask you what on this list would be the number one recommendation for you.
I feel like you're trying to buy my Christmas gift
Do
from
you
this
have, do you want
list.
two of those? Blink twice if you want another one. Okay, this one is on sale right now until January 1, and then you can stack this code, use code sugar cookies. It's the Bosch Universal Plus Mixer in white, not chum change, 449. But that's without the discount, without the extra 20 bucks off. We had a baker yesterday and she was like, my dad said you're getting one. They missed a sale, so their big Black Friday sale did end on December 1st. However, they're running still
Yeah, little
a
baby.
decent sale
Listen, I want to tell you, I love my Heather and my husband years ago bought me the Bosch Universal Mixer Plus.
in
That
silver, right?
thing in silver, stainless steel. It is just I actually used it. I needed to make 12 batches of dough yesterday for my
Good.
stand-up freezer, which we should have put stand-up freezer on
Shoot,
there.
I'll
But
add it.
anyways,
Let me
um,
add it while you chit chat.
yeah, I got one from Walmart. It wasn't expensive. I think it was 150-ish if I recall. But I like to stock my freezer. So during I stock it twice, maybe 3 or 4 times a year, if depending on what I have going on. And the Bosch can fill that bad boy up. He's just a workhorse. He says, "Give me all the ingredients. I want to eat them." I
Do
will
you
say, if you're
remember where your stand-up freezer was from?
Walmart.
Walmart.
Walmart. Yeah, and they delivered it
Walmart.
because I don't have any car that could actually bring it to me.
Do you have a white one or a
I do
silver
have a
one?
white one, no lights, as
Okay.
dark can be
Not bad,
inside.
298.
Yeah,
Frigidaire? Yeah,
that
this is great.
I use it all the time. It's just honestly, allowed me to work ahead because a dough freezes so well, and then cookies freeze so well, and that's where I just put my dough and I just grab from it as I go. The one thing to know about the Bosch Universal Mixer Plus in any of the Bosches is that creaming your butter and your sugar takes a lot longer in a Bosch than it does a kitchen.
Okay.
So a lot of people are like, it didn't mix my ingredients. Listen, it needs a hot minute because it is working from the bottom up, whereas the KitchenAid works from the top down.
Okay. So now there's always a caveat to remember with these mix with that Bosch mixer. What is it about the paddles?
Oh, so it comes with what's called cookie paddles. And you're right to think that cookie paddles would be used for cookies. With the amount of dough that sugar cookie bakers are doing, like we're doing 3 batches and like 4 batches at one time, the cookie paddles cannot handle that much. So if you were just doing a single batch, you would be fine. If you were doing cake batter, you'd be fine using that. What you're going to
Okay.
use is the dough hook. The same thing you would be using for your bread and your pastries, you're going to be using that for your dough as well.
Okay, great. So, and I've actually had the Bosch in stainless steel is actually quite a bit more expensive than the one that we have here in white. So if you're thinking either one performs the same, the stainless steel one just is what, easier to clean or something?
Easier to clean. The thing, because I actually have the Artiste in the white. The white bowl is plastic and it can push, as if butter goes around once, it makes it super
Okay.
slick. So it can push your ingredients around a little
Mm.
bit more, whereas the stainless steel kind of grabs onto those ingredients.
Oh.
If you buy the white one that we have listed here, you can in the future buy the stainless steel bowl for it.
Very nice. The Bosch Universal Plus and White. Use code Sugar Cookies to do a stackable. It's our affiliate code. Uh, you guys have been so great using that affiliate code. They've actually given us another mixer to give away, so we'll have details on that soon. So thank you guys. But
Nice.
that code is Sugar Cookies, and you can stack on top of the 449 an additional $20 discount.
That's a Steelio.
Okay,
Steelio.
back to that though. More cost competitive, and I want to ask Corey's differentiator here, the Artiste by Nutrimil. Now, Bosch and Nutrimil, I don't understand the relationship, but they're both on the Nutrimil website, so the code Sugar Cookies works for all of these.
Yeah.
But Corey, that's a $249 compared to the $449. Why?
Okay, I use both the Artiste and the Bosch Universal every dough day. I use them both.
Mm,
The Artiste has a less powerful motor. Here's the thing, my dough is a very wet dough. There's a lot of eggs, there's a lot of butter. Because of that, it makes it easier for the dough hooks in the Artiste to push my ingredients around. I've never had him shut off for me. I do a triple batch in each one at the same time. It takes longer for the Artiste to mix things because he is slower at it, but he
okay.
gets it done. Some people who have a drier dough, a lot more dry ingredients, say the Artiste is not their favorite because he doesn't love super dry, very heavy dough to work with. I love them
So,
both equally because I just know that the Universal, I never have to question if he can mix the dough. The Artiste, I got to be like, come on, man, you got it. Come on, buddy. So it just takes
well,
him just a little bit longer.
I mean, for $200 discount, something's got to give. So
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
But 249 for an Artiste, and you can still, are you using it for your royal icing?
I have used it for royal icing. I typically use KitchenAid for that. If we have a big class, I'll use the Bosch. The one thing about the Artiste that's nice is the cable stores within him.
Very nice. I
The
love cable
Bosch has just
management.
a random cord that you have to always
Hate
stare
it.
at. The Bosch
Hate it.
Universal has a bigger footprint. He takes up a lot more space.
As
The
he should, he's a
Artiste,
bigger motor.
yeah, the Artiste I can store in a cupboard.
So
He's not a small dude, but he
let's
is a smaller
say
footprint.
someone's like, I'm cart before the horse. I'm listening to all the marketing and business sales, but I haven't even baked a cookie yet. And my husband, love of my life, wants to buy me a mixer. KitchenAid, Bosch Universal, Nutrimel Artiste. Which one would you tell them to start
That's
with?
I would say if you were like, I really want to do this and make it a thing, you would
Cost?
do the Artiste. The KitchenAids are so much prettier. They're so much prettier
Yeah.
because the Artiste is mostly plastic, whereas you have the KitchenAid, the tilt head. I use my KitchenAid for royal icing, and if I'm just doing one batch of anything, just because it's
Okay.
sitting out there.
So,
But
but
the
you'd still
Artiste,
recommend the Artiste over that?
if you were
Artiste.
saying this will be mostly for dough, and I'm not trying to get into anything sourdough or anything drop cookie related.
Ah, good to
Yeah.
know. Good to know. I added the stand-up freezer for $298 from Walmart Definitely for the baker who's been in it for a bit, you could
Yeah.
tell this isn't a hobby. This is, I'm going to do this. Around Christmas time, making those big batches of dough like Corey's doing and freezing them in a freezer that's designated for that and just putting it in your basement so it's not taking up the freezer
Yeah.
space for your family is a great option.
It allows you to take last minute orders so much faster. If you had an Eddie printer and you have a stand-up freezer, you can have those blank circle cookies already flooded in the freezer, just waiting to be thawed. Plus, just the amount of dough that it holds for me, it really just sets me up for success because I'm never having to take a last minute order, be like, well, now I got to go run to the store and prep all the ingredients and make the dough.
People
I
always
know
forget that space saving is a cost. Like finding places to put
yes.
things is a problem.
Yeah. And I know my KitchenAid, when I first started, I used it to make the dough and I was making one batch at a time. And to go back to the Bosch, what took me hours, I want to say 8 hours, could just take me an hour and a half with the Bosch
And
to make the
time
same amount.
cost savings is still a monetary value. So
I know.
can't go wrong. 298. It's obviously got a big enough footprint that it's a freezer, but it's not nearly as big as a freezer in your kitchen.
He's actually definitely smaller and maybe takes up just like I have a fridge that opens like this. He just
Uh-huh.
takes up the same amount
Oh,
of
that's nice.
size as
Very
the
nice.
refrigerator part.
I don't think you'll find a baker unless maybe they're living in an apartment who'll be like, no, get that stand-up freezer away from me.
Yeah. It's not
Okay,
not a you're gonna be like, ah, freezer, but it's so handy.
right. So handy. And Corey loves hers. Hand massager, not the cheapest thing. Oddly, I thought it was definitely going to be in a
She thought it
stocking
was gonna
stuffer.
be on the stocking stuffer
Yeah, these things
list.
are 89, 90, $100. There's a million options, but I find that the bakers who really are like, my hands hurt, especially when it's cold and
Yeah.
you have that cold, like, I'm sorry, I was thinking about this the other day. I flicked a cable, the charging cable for my phone on my finger, but my hands were cold and I felt it to the core of my being.
Oh,
It
it
hurt
hurts
so
so
badly.
bad.
Right, just a
Um,
little nick. So this one I've linked to, which I have no ownership of. I think I bought one for Ruth Ann. You put your hand in it, they massage your hand, they warm up your hand.
yeah.
It's just that little break you need while you're doing your warmed up coffee mug sip.
I want to say I did 16 dozen cookies a couple weeks ago, and I said to my husband, my hands physically hurt. They
Uh-huh.
hurt inside of them.
I don't think any baker, it's small, but it's not like the smallest thing in the world. Because when I bought Ruth Ann's, it was like, oh, it's like half size of a laptop or something.
Yeah.
But you put your whole hand in there and it has all these different massage
Yeah.
options.
If you're watching TV at the end of the night with your hand in there,
I wouldn't complain. I love
yeah.
those little robotic massagers. I've bought
Yeah.
myself one because my neck hurt years ago. I said, if anything in the world, I will not give up this thing. When your neck hurts and you have to turn around like the
Oh, yeah.
Batman, what did you say? You can't even drive straight because you can't look in your blind spot.
I
I just have to be
know.
like, hope you're not there
You
because
just
I'm
have to
coming.
find the lane that you and just drive that lane till you
Yeah.
get
And
home.
then you just have to take
Yeah.
right turns so you never have to look left. This is an interesting one. And this one would take a little bit of pre-planning and probably writing up a gift card, a cookie con ticket, not cheap, 49. If a baker in your life is like into cookies and selling them and they just want to level up the entire cookie experience, I think every baker should go to cookie con once.
Yeah. Oh, it's so much fun. Here's the thing. The tickets aren't on sale right now. We even checked the website, but the tickets, what's the price tag on that bad
You
boy?
have 489, which
That is
is
typically the price of a ticket, and that gets you in there to the core classes to shop and things like that. It doesn't get you the add-on classes.
here's what I'm gonna tell you. If all you did was, you might say, wow, 49 is ridiculous because that doesn't include lodging, it doesn't include travel, it doesn't include
Yeah.
food. You're getting your bang for the buck. That is one of the things where Corey and I went to and we were like, wow, how do they even put this on? There's so much
It
going
was
on at all hours.
massive. Yes,
It's a massive
massive.
undertaking. You almost have to go to it. It's a blast in the most unique way.
It is. And that would be if a baker is like, I feel lonely. Sorry, I keep turning on my heater, but it gets hot, so I have to turn it off.
He's
It's
doing his
nice.
job. Would a
Uh,
space heater be a decent thing to add? I love a space heater.
well, this Dyson one I have is both an air purifier, a space heater, and a fan.
Oh, let's see if
We
they
might have to
have
add
it.
him to the list. He's a little older, a few years old, so I don't know if they still have him the way he
There.
is. The one you got is a lot larger than the one I have.
He is. I'm thinking if you have a small space, he wasn't it. We have
Yeah,
the Dyson Gen 1 Hot Cool. I think
that
he's
that
what
might
you
be
got.
it.
He's
Yeah,
399.
I think so. And
Not
he goes on
cheap.
sale often.
He goes on sale. I would never pay full price for a Dyson product if
Yeah,
I was
but
you. I'm gonna
Cookie
just
Con, if you add that to the list, Cookie Con, if you're thinking about it, it's a way to meet other bakers. It's a lot of fun. A lot of meetups happen there. The core classes now are a lot more diverse of how to sell. We taught a core class on how to take photos of your cookies.
I actually have that on
They
YouTube if anybody wanted to watch it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we
From that
recorded
way a long
it.
time ago.
Yeah, we I told you I wanted to record it so we can upload it for the Cookie College, but I ended up uploading it to YouTube, the
Oh, that's
computer.
nice.
So
Yeah. So those you get that in your ticket. Granted, the lodging they'll have like little discounts. They
room rates, yeah,
room
room
rates.
blocks.
Yeah. So while the whole thing is expensive, if you put some money towards it for the baker in your life, they'd probably really enjoy it. Granted, it will be what I can't remember the dates, but it will be in Orlando
June.
uh in June this next year. So,
June or July. I'm sorry. It's in one of the hottest months, and everyone's like, "Woo, hot."
but at least your kids might be out of school by that
I
time.
know that when they do it in Orlando, I feel like the attendance is always the strongest because it could be a Disney trip too. And I
Yeah.
think they even have the hotel, if it's at the Rosin Shingle
It
Creek,
it
which we
is.
did.
It says
Yeah,
that.
the hotel will take you to Disney Springs, or you could get something to go to Disney World.
Yeah. So they just have you would just be given cold hard cash with a little cookie con emblem on there, but
Now, my ninja thing is the CookieCon tickets typically sell out pretty quick. I find it to be stressful myself, but just wait. People are always reselling them and even at a discount. If you were like, I'm not going to do the add-ons, I'm gonna risk it for the
yeah.
biscuit and get my a discounted ticket, people are canceling up until the last second
But I
trying to
want to say the
resell their
past few
tickets.
years they haven't sold out. So like
I
while Heather's
know.
saying
I'll be
the
curious when they go back to Orlando if it does.
yeah. The tickets for the add-on classes is what sells out first. So once you get your Cookie Con ticket, it's those add-on classes that you need to swipe up whatever you want to. Like if there's a designer that you really like, a cookie artist that's teaching, or something you wanted to learn, those are the ones you
Very good
want to
to
get out.
know. But definitely a fun gift. Definitely. And if you have already gone to a cookie con, I don't think you'd complain about going to a second,
No,
especially
I
when
don't think
somebody's
so.
paying $489 for you.
Yeah.
I've added the Dyson air purifier and heater. I'd love it. Corey turned me on to air purifiers. I'm a huge fan. It really helps with allergies. When you go check the filter, you're like, wow,
Yeah.
this is dusty.
It's great for a
Dusty.
cookie room, or if you have a high traffic area where you're decorating cookies, you just don't know how much dust is in the air, especially if you live in an older home. It's just
Dusty. Okay,
after,
our grandmother Ruth Ann, you're not going to meet a cleaner lady. The lady is
yeah,
always wiping something down, vacuuming something up. But when I take, she has a Dyson stick vacuum, huge fan. If you guys like upright cordless stick vacuums, it doesn't matter how clean she is. I'll show her the canister and she'll be like, "What is life?
yeah,
That dust is everywhere and all pervasive." But you walk outside, you walk inside, you're bringing in dust. You're also human, you're dust, any pets, dust. And just for the fact that you have a heater, a furnace
yeah.
running, you're going to collect dust.
For the Dyson fan thing that I have, he's down right here. He's not necessarily small, but sometimes I'll put him on this chair and aim him at cookies to dry them overnight if I need a little bit more fan
Wild.
power.
Wild. Does he have, is he also just a fan and not a heater as well?
He's a heater and a fan. He
Yes,
doesn't
I think they
cool.
all have that option.
Yeah.
Very
So
nice. Yeah, it's not
I
air
have used
conditioner.
it. No.
Okay, next one, Hulken bag. Now, Corey's car, our cars, small cars don't fit these Hulken bags, but if you have any size SUV and you're teaching a cookie class or you're doing vendor markets, I think these big heavy lifting Hulken bags are
Yeah.
basically a structured bag on wheels that you can just pull by the handle and it's like the adult version of a wagon.
Yeah. Honestly, if you're doing a cookie class, here's the thing. It doesn't fit into our vehicles very well, so you'd have to like load it in, but it would be great to bring into a cookie class. You would just load up with your icing, your
Uh-huh.
cookies, all your signage and everything like that,
If you
and
had
just
an
take it in one
SUV,
trip.
absolutely.
Oh
And the
yeah.
reason why it's better than a wagon is it has soft sides, which allows it to be scrunched down to fit in a car.
Yeah, you can collapse it. So me and Heather would probably take 52 trips into our cookie classes.
It's the Waka. It's yeah, I hate to walk back
Yeah.
and forth to the car. So if I could fit a Hulk bag, I would.
Yeah.
Very neat little gift. They usually run discounts. I probably wouldn't pay full price. I would find a discount code, but it's 125 outside of a sale
Oh,
for their
nice.
most
Good to know.
popular large. They had three sizes, but the smallest sold out. Okay, you added this one, Sugar Veil piping dispenser.
Okay, I didn't add that. Someone added that when you asked the question, and this has been going around, and it's like a newer technology. I've never tried it, so I cannot speak. Don't say I got it because Corey said I don't know, but I also don't really necessarily know what you use it for with outside of your hands piping. I'm not sure what it is. Someone
I
said
did
that they
watch the
liked it.
video and it looks very cool. It's basically air pressure pushing icing out in small circles.
So,
So, and they were
question,
writing in it.
what is that do? How is that different than my hand
There's
pressing
you just press a
a
small button and
button?
it seemed like you had a lot of control of the start and stop.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
so I
right.
mean it was pretty fascinating. They were using it just like you'd write your name.
So maybe if you're like lettering is my worst nightmare, the
Hmm.
piping bag makes it too hard, this would be a great answer for
Definitely
you.
if you're doing like the elf cookies that have the names on them.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I
So
write like a little kid, so I would hate to see my handwriting in frosting as well.
icing.
Icing, but that one is interesting. 170. A couple people in the cookie college talking about it, ordered it, and I said if they could do a demonstration, I would love to see it.
Yeah, I would love to see.
Okay, a new category of its own, subscriptions. Subscriptions are interesting because they take up no space, but they do take up some money. So I think that a lot of bakers would like this list. We got definitely diverse options for you. Any baker with a 3D printer is going to love an STL library subscription. We have
Yeah.
two options here. Sprinkle Factory, Corey's been knee deep in. I gave you the login for that, right?
Yes. Been logged
And the
in
Cookie
and
Countess, you found one. So the Sprinkle Factory is a yearly membership. It's $250, and the Cookie Countess is a monthly membership at $9.99.
so it'd be $120. So there's a big pricing difference, but I think the designs are different enough that you would be able to find something valuable in both.
Right. And it's always funny. Like I wouldn't probably give somebody like a subscription like for free, they never cancel it. And then I'm always on the hook for this like
That's
subscription for
true.
the rest of their
That's
life. Got to
true.
cancel
Or
your
they go
credit
and
card.
log in January 1 because you gave it to them on December 31st
I
and
know. That's what
they
always
can't
happens.
access it.
This one, I added this one 3 years ago, last year and this year. A lot of, if you're listening to the Baking It Down podcast on Spotify, this might be up your alley. A Spotify streaming gift card. Now, you can buy these in any denomination, down to $30, upwards of $250. But Spotify, a lot of bakers will have it playing their favorite podcast, their favorite murder mystery, their favorite two twins talking about how to market and sell your cookies. A Spotify subscription gift card is always well received.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Subscription,
It is a subscription, but the gift card is just a denomination, so
which
they
is
can apply
great.
it to their
Yeah.
subscription, which I
So
prefer
you don't have to
that.
sign up for them.
Brr.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get me on your renewal. Corey added me to ask. Corey added me to ask this. Corey asked me to add this. Timular is a time tracking app. I actually started using it aggressively again this past month. He changed the name to Early app because Timular was hard to spell. Now it's this little device. It's a like almost a rectangle, but it has multiple sides, and I can just put a side up, and it'll tell me, okay, we started tracking this. So if you're curious about your time costs,
Yeah.
this is a great way to see it. If you're just curious if you're using your time wisely, that's really how I use it. I don't do billable hours, but I really like to understand like what's taking up the most of my day. This task that I thought, and you can now add tags to be like this task. So let's say I have one called sugar cookie marketing. So anytime I'm doing work in sugar cookie marketing, I can start tracking that. But what am I doing in there? If I'm doing the monthly countdown graphics, the weekly
Yeah.
countdown graphics, how long is that actually taking me? So I can attribute it, the category to the subtask. And at the end, it has a great reporting dashboard to be like, here's how much time you spend on the specific task.
Yeah, I think for bakers, the time you're making dough, how long an Eddie order takes you versus a typical custom order. And that's how you know what your hourly rate should be because everyone works at a different pace. And so
Uh,
tracking those things, tracking how long it takes your admin tasking to do,
I don't think
well,
all cookie designs are created equally. There's some ones that
yeah,
just suck up time and then they suck up profit that way. You could try to track that, or if you could say, okay, well, I'm taking the twins had a challenge where every Monday is my admin day. Here's how long I spent on this. Where can I optimize?
yes,
Once you know, what do they say? You have to track it so you can tame it or something like that.
yeah.
You can't optimize it unless you know exactly what it is. So I feel like even myself would be like, I felt like that was 2 hours. And then I'll look at the thing and it'll be like 1 hour and 1 minute. Oh, well, felt like it took forever. But kind of understanding that, and especially like, what should I price these? You probably don't have a good understanding of the time it's taking you to
Yes,
do stuff. And
yeah,
once you know, like, here's my ingredients cost, here's my time cost, here's exactly what this is costing me. Let me add 15 to 20% profit. You can say, am I competitive or am I overpriced or if I'm underpriced?
yes,
Right. And it
yeah,
doesn't mean just, well, lower your price. It means maybe up your packaging so you can validate that
yeah,
asking price.
yeah,
This one I really liked, Canva. Corey said it's on sale right now for 50% off at $7.50 a month. There's no world in which you're not going to have a good experience with Canva. I have to actually, they released the software, and I'm going to talk about Adobe in the next one, but Canva has released what they call the Adobe Killer.
whoa,
I think it
yeah,
might be called Affinity. I think it starts with an A, but they were like, it replaces Photoshop, it replaces Illustrator, and it replaces like it was another
wow,
design software. And they said it's just so intuitive. And I think it's whatever. I'll have to explore it. I think it might be
yeah.
free right now. But Canva, the subscription itself, they're adding so many capabilities.
There's AI in there now. You can add your own fonts to it. That's what I use to make graphics when I need to project them down onto a cookie. I make that in Canva.
I saw this TikTok and the girl was like, here's two pieces of clip art, right? So it was two different drawings of a vine plant. And she's like, but they're two different styles of art. One's like gua sha and one was like watercolor. You could press on the first one and do the paint bucket tool and click on the other one. It would convert its painting style
Oh, that's
over to the other. So now
wild.
all your clip arts would kind of match.
Yeah, Canva
Crazy.
used to be, it wasn't a one-time fee at one point and then it went subscription,
That
or
was
was it
Photoshop. That was
always?
Adobe. Canva used
Okay.
to be a lot more affordable and then raise their prices,
Yeah.
especially in those teams. You could always share it. And now you can find some grandfathered teams out there still that get posted in the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group. But yeah, Canva, again, a subscription. So maybe you could find a gift card or just give them cash. Otherwise, you're kind of on the hook. If there's somebody you're going to be with for a long time, fine. But there's tons of uses for the baker who's trying to sell and market in Canva.
You can make your flyers in there, which is
QR code
fantastic.
generator, a free
Yeah,
one.
graphics. You can, a lot of people are like to put words on their, like the pricing on there. You can do jazz it up that way on your photos.
Yeah, very nice. And they have, you can load in custom fonts. Definitely, you have a lot more options now with the paid one than you do with the free
Yeah.
one. I used to not be able to say that, but now they've moved everything over kind of that paid membership. Another subscription here I think is really cool is Cookie Design Lab. They are a sponsor of this podcast and they're a sponsor of the STL Me About It segment. So you could also win a month in that. But for $100, you get a yearly membership. It's actually, they had given me a free one to demonstrate last year. And then I logged back in. They're like, oh, your membership's over. And it's one I repurchased.
Yeah.
So if you use code TWINS, I think you get 15% off there. But Cookie Design Lab is an STL software to design cookie cutters. And now they've added a few more components like sprinkles and something like that, as
Yeah. So
stencils.
you might, the person listening who isn't the baker in life, you'd be like, well, what you said an STL library, why would I need this? Then STL library has pre-made designs. If someone is reaching out to the baker in your life and they're like, I really want my son's teddy bear that he's grown up with to be one of the cookies in the set, they would have to make a cookie cutter based off of whatever that teddy bear looks like. Cookie Design Labs allows the baker to make a one of a kind cookie cutter that without having to learn like Fusion 360, a huge program. And it's easy. So time is of the essence when it comes to a baker. So they can plug in the photo of the bear, take it to Cookie Design Lab. Either Cookie Design Lab will read it and make it, or they move these little pins around and they
Uh-huh.
can spit out something more individual like that.
If
So
I have the PNG, we're talking 30 seconds to create it,
yeah,
which is great.
yeah.
So I actually use that for our digital downloads library. Those cutter STLs that I include, they're created in Cookie Design Lab.
Oh, nice.
Adobe Creative Cloud Lightroom, specifically 22.99 a month. Now, Adobe and pricing have never shared the same word sentence without overpriced. But Lightroom has a free plan. If you're thinking about giving someone a gift, paying for their subscription. Now, here's my little caveat. If you have an EDU email address, you can get a better discount for 4 years on that. Um,
So what's the discount look like for an EDU?
Adobe's pricing is so kooky. It's hard to understand if they're running a special for you or if you click through an
Oh,
affiliate link. I don't know. But 22.99 is what their non-discounted plan is for one app. So Adobe went to a subscription model and then it's called Creative Cloud. And within it, you can either get a ton of apps or one app. It's confusing as heck, but Lightroom will make your pictures pop.
okay, so I want to say I run every photo I take through Lightroom. I will say Lightroom Mobile, so for
Okay.
your cell phone, is free with paid upgrades. Currently, it has been for years.
Right.
It's free. So if you were like, wow, that sounds great, but I'm not at $22 a month in my life,
I know.
you could always just download that one. And I typically don't even use the paid features anyways in the mobile app. So that's, I mean, that
Options.
turned that gift to free gift. But if you're just listening and you're like, no one's going to spend $22 a week, then you could get the mobile app for free.
Ruth Ann just texted me a picture of Munch.
Oh,
Well,
me
actually, she just texted
mucho.
me, and we're are you? I'll show it to. I'm gonna show it to YouTube. Also, if you guys want to subscribe to us on YouTube, you can do so by searching just Sugar Cookie Marketing on YouTube, and join us over there because you can see all the things Corey's been pointing at behind her. That is taking forever to load. We will talk about it in a second. Moving on
Anyways, yeah.
to the next one. Lose your attitude, you little. It's my son. I have to see a
Dead
picture of him.
air, dead air. I've been
Oh,
watching Fraser.
here's a really cool one, and it's also really cool what this company did just for this podcast specifically. The Cookie College. If you're listening to this for the next 7 days, so today is the 9th, for the next 7 days, you can use code Baking It Down to get 10% off any of our plans. Consider it an early holiday gift.
So, what is the Cookie College?
The Cookie College is our subscription, and we have actually 5 different plans within it. So it's the Cookie College, which gets everything.
Mhm.
Typically 76. With this code, you could get it for 68.40. But within that, you get the digital downloads, which I just posted two of the digital downloads kits last
Very, very
week.
cute. Very,
Very,
very
very
cute.
cute. It was Thank You Snow Much with a snow theme and Hat Yourself a Merry Christmas, which is a theme using Santa's hat. It's pretty cute. So
Yeah.
within the digital downloads, you get 7 print files from the STL, a transfer, a social media post, a pattern, a cookie tag front and back, cookie backer, the PNG files to print or whatever, create your own graphics. Then we have the Baker's Business Basics, which is the foundational courses to kind of get you started in the right direction. We have the cookie class kits, which is all the curriculum you'd need to teach a cookie class in person. Corey and I taught one on Saturday.
I
Uh,
did.
we set 100, sorry, we do 10 seats at $85 a ticket, an hour and a half of work outside of prep time. You do the math. Somebody, I think her name is also Heather. That's why I caught it on. She posted in the college that she joined during the Vendor Blending. And she said, I taught my first class this weekend and it's paid for my entire membership.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
hey, you do the math, but the Cookie College, again, the code is baking it down at checkout. You can get 10% off of any of those memberships that we offer just for
Nice.
the next 7 days. That code will expire.
Thank you for the person listening. Get it at a discount.
You have projector, Smart Sketch 79.
Okay. You will have to know your baker just a tinge bit. If they're just starting off, a lot of bakers, me included, started off with the Smart Sketch. It's very blurry for us.
I'm
Very blurry.
sorry. Yeah, it said Zoom is doing like some filter so you can't see the background. My
The
cat is very
smart
cute.
the Smart Sketch is a kid's toy. So it looks like a kid's toy. It's plastic and it's got colors like a kid's
I
toy.
want to tell you guys, it doesn't look like a kid's toy. It is a kid's toy. The
It
thing is
is.
the most crayon, Crayola type looking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Here's the thing. When I first started, they were $39. It's $79 now.
Inflation.
So yeah, he's got expensive, but it's a great way if you wanted to project an image down on a cookie for $79. That's a way you could do that.
Because the other option, which is probably where everyone will find themselves eventually, is actually $250, the Kodak Luma
And
projector.
and that doesn't even include the stand that he'll need.
I know. So if you're not going to be, maybe the smart person would buy the Smart Sketch for 79, but I think every baker who doesn't have a projector eventually needs one. One,
Yes.
just the workflow. Two, any kind of handwriting.
I use my Smart Sketch. I don't have him anymore. I passed him on to another baker. I use my projector every single set, so
Yeah.
he's super handy for me. And I keep him on this. He's like right behind my computer. He's on an Archon mount. He never budges. He's just always
And you
hanging there.
always leave them in the archive mount, always at the same height. So once you get it dialed in, I see a lot of people are
Yeah.
like, oh, I got the Kodak Lumen. It's upside down and backwards and squished. But once you get them dialed in, was it connect to
The,
your phone or your computer?
so I have it connected to my computer. A lot of them, some of them out there are Wi-Fi based, so you could just send the image from your
Ah,
phone, and you could still utilize your phone for your subscription on Spotify.
very
So it's
nice.
up to you. But I will say the Smart Sketch, the biggest issue with it is you can't make the image. You have to bring your cookie to the image. It doesn't
Oh.
change the sizing in there. So I was having to stack some books under it to get the image small enough to fit on the top of the cookie. That's what's annoying about it. So
Could
the
you have
Smart
brought the
Sketch,
Archon down?
I'm saying it's a Smart Sketch.
Smart Sketch, yes. Okay, so you're very
He's
limited.
fixed.
He's a fixed
He's fixed because
guy.
he's supposed to be on a piece of paper.
Okay, fair,
So
fair, fair. For a
yeah.
toddler. So, I mean, two options there. If you have probably a newer baker, can't go wrong either way. Again, at the end of the day, the most least personal gift ever is an Amazon gift card, but you could buy both of those on Amazon. So if you
You
really,
could.
truly don't want to buy them something that they have to return, you could do that.
Yeah.
Okay, this is for the baker who has been the best all year round. The baker who's
The
never been kerfluffled by
yeah.
an irate client. The baker who is just descended from heaven. This is our 500 plus list, and it's short, and it's heavy.
It's a heavy hitter.
Even asking for cash from everyone towards this isn't a bad idea. I know it'd be hard to ask for $500 or something over 500. Some of these get very expensive. But if you want to turn up the podcast right now and walk out the room and let the pieces fall where they may, who are we to judge? Okay, the Bosch Universal Plus mixer in silver, it's $100 more than the white one. As Corey kind of said, you're not wrong going another direction. She has this, why do I keep
Stainless
calling it
steel.
silver? Stainless steel.
Yeah.
Again, the code Sugar Cookies gives you 20 bucks off, so that 549 would go to 529 or something. So
529.
you could do that one. But again, 549, but it's going to pay for itself and then some, and you're going to wonder how you ever lived without it.
I
Non-biased.
had a bowl lifty uppy KitchenAid and I sold it because I never used it because I only used the
So
Bosch.
if you, and Corey, so you have the original KitchenAid, the one that you typically see in
I have a
kitchens,
head
and
tilt
then,
one. I
yeah,
love
yeah.
him.
Oh,
I just
head tilt.
always have him. Yeah. The other
Yeah,
one is a bowl.
if both are on the chopping block, that the lifty uppy KitchenAid or the Bosch, just go with the Bosch. I think the
Yeah.
lifty up KitchenAid ain't as cheap either. It's over a couple $100.
It is expensive. There's what people don't know, there's a KitchenAid bowl, I think is 5 quart or five, whatever. And there's a lifty head one that's also five. So you don't even get that much
Oh,
more space.
fair, good to
But there's
know.
a bigger whatever the lift head is of a KitchenAid that holds a lot more. So you could do that. And I think it's more of a commercial grade. It says on the side, commercial.
Okay. Eugene dough sheeter, the electric one, the non-electric one still is going to require some muscle movement. So if you're going to go all in because you've been the best baker, let's ask for the whole shebang.
Electric. Yeah.
It's on sale right now for $1,005. Now I did hear that he's a little back ordered from the event, so you might want to place the order now if you wanted to get in time for Christmas.
Yeah.
But it's a Eugene Dough Sheeter's electric dough sheeter. Now the people who have one swear by it. It's not for every baker. I can
There
say that.
is there is a learning curve about it, but
He
as with
massive
anything,
footprint.
yes, he's a
Corey's
big
biggest
boy.
gripe is the massive footprint. However, she was like, I get it though.
Because if you're trying to squish a lot of dough, you need a massive thing to squish the dough.
I'm gonna tell you, if you have a designated cookie room or a brick and mortar, absolutely yes. I think
Yeah.
it'd be a perfect fit for you.
Yeah.
Edible printers. Now, there's a couple of these in the space. I'm just going to go with Primera and Icing Images as the two comparable ones. There's a third one. I'm not going to drag them, but I think that their customer
It just
service is a
doesn't
little
have,
off.
yeah, customer service behind them.
Okay, so I did Primera Eddie. Now, you guys are going to be floored with the price I'm about to read out. Eddie is 2,995. You could get a refurbished one. It saves about $500, which you
Yeah.
could buy a Bosch with. If you've been that best baker, who cares what they cost? I'm
Yes.
a refurb girly, especially when it comes from the company that made them because I feel like they fixed them. Icing Images, Big Blue. Now, they have a small blue. I don't see it recommended nearly as often as a Big Blue. That one is
I want to say
4,750.
the big blue's footprint is massive
And
compared
you can
to the
see
little
that we're talking
blue.
about footprints a lot because you can have the best setup in the world, but if you don't have space for it, it will be a hell on earth
Yeah.
for you. To try
Yeah.
to always have to put something away to move on to the next
At the
step
end of
is
the day,
frustrating.
you need to decorate your cookies somewhere, and it can't
Right.
be on a machine.
So if you're limited space, I would go with the Eddie. If you're like, I do cakes and I like flexible and I have tons of space, I would consider the Big Blue. Both are great options. I've seen that whoever buys either of those are just heck bent on recommending them. So I don't
Did you
think you
say the
go wrong.
price of the big one? The big,
Considerably more expensive, 4,750.
oh,
And I'm not sure
4,000.
what their in cartridges cost, but either way, if you're in this league, you can't go wrong with either. Definitely make sure that the baker has the space if you're considering the big blue. There is a small blue. I don't see it's recommended enough, but an option for you there.
Yeah.
And I know Eddie takes up about the space of a laptop without the
Yeah.
automatic
I'm
food
looking
tray.
at him right now. He's a space of a laptop and then maybe a little bit half of another laptop. So he's a
Yeah,
little,
he's a square and a laptop's a rectangle, so he's more the long side of a laptop in two different directions.
yeah. Yeah.
Corey loves the directed food printers. She said she can bust those out real quick. If someone says, "Hey, I know your orders are closed, but printed cookie," Corey's orders
Oh,
suddenly open right back up.
yeah.
So we talked about like if you go through all of these and you get the Bosch, so you can batch make dough that you can put in your freezer downstairs, that you can make your Eddie blanks, and then you got the Eddie to print that. You have a whole nother business line of options of
I
products
know. I
to sell.
know.
So very nice, those two guys. Okay, we added this here. I've never seen the guy, but Freddie is their Primera's new automated icing machine.
Yeah.
So if Eddie was the printer, Freddie is the icing printer. He prints icing. He does your base layers for you. Now it's a newer product, and I'm not sure you can buy him yet, but it'd be cool if you could.
It's almost like they had a sign up and those were first come, first serve. So people could sign up for him. And then when they filled that up, now they're fulfilling the orders for that sign up. And then it may be eventually opening up to us regulars. He
Right.
is a
It's the
big
pre-orders.
boy. He's a big boy with
Big
a big old
boy.
footprint.
So again, back to the footprints. Of course, these are bigger costs and they reflect in bigger sizes, but a lot of capabilities. The technology, this is all really tech heavy stuff.
Yeah.
But so for the baker that's in it to win it for the long term, they're here for the good time and a long time. These are all, and they've been very, very good this year.
Yes.
These are all
I
options.
know. In the college, some people have showcased him. Kim just did a Facebook Live of him the other day, and it was entertaining to watch.
It's a wild technology. Stuff that you're like, does this even exist?
Yeah, yeah,
But not cheap. $5,000, and I think they're even considering raising the price. So I'm not sure if they open another pre-order, maybe you'd want to sneak in there, but I know he'll be at EddieCon in January. They're
yeah.
also sponsor this podcast and asked us to tell you about EddieCon. EddieCon is their in-person first ever
Yes.
convention around Eddie the printer and now Freddie the frosting printer.
Yeah, but the EddieCon is going to feature like how people are utilizing him. So you can go to courses and classes on how people are pushing Eddie and not just printing on a thing and calling it a day, but how people are printing on transfers, how they're making the graphics for Eddie,
Yes.
and things like
Which
that.
is heavily in Canva. So something else to consider. Last but not least, the Dream Box. Corey still doesn't have one of these. Maybe she dreams about it. Not cheap, $2,800. Massive footprint, but save space because it is the organizer of all your hobbies in this foldable, I'd almost call it like a cupboard,
It's called a room in a box,
room
is
in a
what it
box.
is. It almost looks like
It's
a pantry for hobbies, a hobby
it if
pantry.
you're an organized girly, you're gonna love this. Now, can't you kind of make them yourself? Kind
You
of
can
assemble it?
customize it, and the price I gave you was like in between of the cheaper one and the more expensive. Like you can do a fold out table so that when the box is closed, you open it up, you fold out a table, and that's where you decorate. And your sprinkles are at a grab, your scribes, you can just grab them handily, and then when you're done with your set, you close up the box, and then it's almost like your cookie room. You never even have to look at it till you
Yeah.
have another set.
This thing, if you're an organized girly, this is meant for you. They have so many add-ons, so you can really configure this room in a box in any way. They have a table, like a peninsula table.
Yeah.
It's an add-on for 479, but now it folds back up into this as well. Very neat. There's a lot of options here. You'd have to have been a very good buyer. But like imagine all your packaging, all your paper, all your icing colors, all your extra things is, and then the website is quite inspiring. I'll be honest, it's very aesthetic looking.
I'm sure. The thing weighs a metric ton. It not exactly a metric. It weighs a lot. So if you think that you're going to be carting it up to your cookie room upstairs, you're going to need some manpower behind that.
They
But
even
it can
have hooks for your utensils to hang
I would almost
nicely.
love to see one in person to see if it would work for me. Like, can
How
it
could it
hold my little
not?
I
It
don't
has
know. Are they
everything.
shallow storages?
You can add the totes. Everything is add-on. They'll sell you
Where
their
is my
acrylic
Everclear
totes.
gonna go?
Everywhere. It has spaces for everything. Don't
Everywhere.
let your dreams be dreams.
Is
Oh
there
wow,
a
they
light in there, like a lighting system?
no, there is not. But they have this one where you can see it because they have actually a lot more now than just the one thing. They
Yeah.
have a sewing one. They have just a table one. Ah, looks really cool. But it is not cheap. You can hire them to pre-assemble it, but that looked like there was $500 off pre-assembly, which means it's definitely more than
Yeah.
$500.
Yes. So how much
So
is that? I know you said it, but I
the one
forgot.
you linked to was 2,800 to start. That's no add-ons, no
Yeah.
assembly, pre-assembly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're not going to get a better list for the 2025 Best Bigger Gift List than this one. At least, I'm sure there's more stuff we could add to this, but then the podcast would never end. However, for most bakers, I think if they got anything off this list, they'd be like sitting pretty.
They'd be sitting pretty. You'd be sitting. I know this list would make me happy, so I could only imagine it would make someone similar to me happy as well.
Right. If they're a new baker, you have a lot more options in this.
You
If they're
do.
a baker who's listening to podcast on selling the sugar cookies more effectively, they've probably been in the game for a bit more. So some of these would definitely delight.
Dazzle and delight for sure. But if you have a local baking supply shop, you could always get a gift card to
Not
there.
a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
You
Especially
support
when
local, and that'd be a great way to get your baker out in.
what baker hasn't realized they're out of supplies at the last second and they need it?
Oh, oh, that's me all the time.
Yes. My phone, my laptop is like, we hate that you're running all of these apps at the same time. So my mouse is just jumping around. He's just having a good old
As
time.
that's my stew,
Well, I'm trying to get to the STL me about it segment, but I can't. I
Well,
can't.
I'll explain the STL me
Thank
about
you.
it segment. If you want to text in your questions, that's the only way that this little segment survives. The phone number is 571-556-5644. And that's where you can just text in a question, whether you want to cheer us on and say you love the podcast, you have a question about something we've mentioned on past podcasts, or you have a question about something in your business that you just like to game plan. We can help you by choosing one. And the STL about it section is sponsored by Cookie Design Lab. Heather's going to say a bunch of numbers. I'm going to choose one number, and that person is going to win a month.
So last week we did not do the podcast because it got snowy in the nation's capital. So now we have a little backlog of 7 texts. Would you like to pick one?
7. I'm going to pick number 2.
Two. The text is from area code 713.
713. That sounds like Cincinnati.
I'll have to check on my phone since my
Cincinnati.
computer is like, no. Area code is Houston, Texas.
Houston
Hi,
Territorials.
friends. Ashley from Houston here. It'd be cool if I could see this. I have left Adobe Illustrator up on my computer while I was working on
How
something.
dare you?
Yeah, my computer said, "How dare you?" And I'll show you. You'll never do this again. Hold on. He's thinking. He's getting there. He's getting there.
He, he
This is
said
when, and I'm not a big touchscreen girly, but it would be nice.
it
Hi,
would.
friends. Ashley from Houston here, and I have, darn these little screens. Darn you guys. Let me expand this. Oh, you crazy little. I'm gonna have to pull it up in front of you.
Oh, I'm covered. I'm
Okay.
covered.
Hi, friends. Ashley from Houston here. I have a question for Corey. Do you have an idea of the class kit themes for 2026? I'm dying to know so I can start posting early for the experienced gift seeker.
So the great part about the cookie class kits is you get all of the 2023, 2024, and 2025 class kits when you sign up for the college. So you have access to all those. We have listened, you guys have spoken. You want more intermediate classes in 2026. So this is me putting my training wheels back on. I'd gotten really good at easy classes, easy beginner friendly classes
Because that's
through
what
the
we teach.
last 3 years. So no, I don't know because as we go through 2026 and I'm making these more intermediate classes, I want to be able to pivot as I go. I want to be able to hear the feedback and say, oh, that's great. Less colors, more wet on wet, less wet on wet, more techniques, less techniques. So the January class is actually, I'm working on it this week and it'll just be like a cozy winter warm class, but there's going to be dual consistencies. So not just flood
You
consistencies
guys
as we
wanted more
typically
complicated?
come
She's
from.
making it more complicated.
Listen, I'm stressing over it. I felt like so confident in those little beginner friendly classes because I'd gotten my groove with it.
Right,
So
right.
these will be new. And then me and Sweet Pink Olive are working. We were just texting last night about the February class, and that looks like it's going to tend to be more Valentine's Day, but an intermediate Valentine's Day
I like it.
theme.
So again, Ashley, you have won a Cookie Design Lab membership. If you already have a membership, because I think I know who you are, you can get it added to the end of your membership, even if it's a year. So definitely email me at heather@sugarcookiemarketing.com and I'll get you set up there. Great question. The cookie class kits are the curriculum to teach an in-person cookie class. Corey and I used it on Saturday. People asked, what do you guys teach yourselves? Those, why reinvent the wheel?
Yes.
We did
Yeah.
Santa Set. I thought it was really cute. Again, we typically offer beginner because that's what we teach and what we fill our in-person classes with. But the people have spoken and they want to try something new. So it'll be a fun to see the rebirth, the reconfiguration of the cookie class kits in 2026.
Yeah.
Corey's
And it will
sweating
be,
bullets.
I am sweating bullets. It'll be like a new configuration, more complex designs, more intermediate steps, and
Right.
your classes will be longer. And Heather hated that. But
I'm team less is more, less time is more money. But if
yeah,
the people want an intermediate option, it'd be cool to see what
yeah.
you can come up with.
What was funny in the last 3 years, the cookie class kits, it's always been 6 cookies, 4 icing colors,
Uh-huh.
like 4 bags of icing. Now it's either going to be 5 or 6,
Well,
a lot colors, different consistencies. You guys asked for it, and that's probably why I'm stressing because
that
I
is
said,
fine. Do what you, we have great faith and we're excited to see what this will come
okay.
out to be. Another text, not a winner, but you can win next year. Twins, y'all are amazing. The redacted was the bomb diggity. Funny. I joined the Cookie College during the first one, and I love seeing how y'all have grown and improved each year. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for it, but for myself. But I'm also excited to see SEM grow within the baking community. The recent episode y'all did, focusing on courses available, was super helpful. I'm one of the college kids that stays for the party, the Facebook group, but doesn't really attend the classes. January, that will change. I'm buckling down. I'm going to start with the Baker's Business Basics courses. I'll have a lookout for my study buddy post, and I'll hop in. Even with minimal courses I've taken, y'all have changed my business exponentially. I'm confident I would have burned out and burned bridges along the way years ago. So as I celebrate my 5th year in business, I can definitely say that I've improved every year, both mentally and financially, and I'm getting closer and closer to fully charging what I think I'm worth, fully charging what I think I'm worth. My time away from family is less. I've grown more efficient, and my husband is seeing the value of this as a business and not just a hobby. I've even shared learned marketing tips with friends who's a realtor because it makes sense. From the depths of my flower cover soul, I thank you from Prairie, Texas. Wow, you'd almost think we
That's
paid her for
so
that. That is great.
nice.
She's talking about the Cookie College as well. So the first question was about our Class Kits membership subscription, and she's talking about the Cookie College, which gets all those class kits Corey's talking about for the last 3 years, and it will get these new kits as they drop. Thank you so much. That was a very nice text to read,
Yeah.
especially after the redacted.
Something that I've rolled out and it's been fun is a Monday morning roll call in the college. And it's just me going live and we're just taking a topic a week so that if you can't take a course, at least your mindset is set up for the week. And we're just taking a topic. So we covered the content calendar last week, and this week we covered social media content planning and how we are going to utilize that in 2026. And next week we'll be talking how to read those insights with the new content that we will be planning. So
Corey and
it's
I's
building.
big argument, not a big argument, big discussion is which metric do you let make the decision? Obviously, you'd be like all of them, but not all of them are worth the same
Yeah.
weight. So you can say, okay, well, views, okay, clicks, okay, likes, okay, conversions, okay, like, but they are related, but there's one that needs to take that front and center seat to indicate if what you're doing is
Yeah.
effective.
And it's going to come down to what is your goal? Do I want more
Ah,
local followers? Do I want just more reach in general because I'm trying to get the rewards bonus program? And it will come down to you discovering that. So when we discover the content we want to make, it's going to dictate which insights are going to be important for us.
I know people are always like, what would you charge for this? And then the comments, as they should be, are like, well, we're all in different areas. Your price will be different than mine. But the same is with the metrics, like marketing goals. How am I going to reach more people on Facebook? The person that might be telling you to do this real type thing may be trying to appeal to a very broad baking audience because they're an affiliate seller.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
person who's like, well, this, that, and the other may only do vendor events and they're very good at event marketing, but they're not so great at pre-sale marketing. So
Yeah.
it does make a difference. They're all good questions, though. Another text, and this is actually a follow-up. In 2026, we're going to be retooling a bunch of the products that we offer, including this podcast, and to have more interviews on it because you guys love that. This is a follow-up from the Bougie Baker interview. Hello, Heather and Corey. This is Jennifer from California. A few weeks ago, Christina from Bougie Baker's Boutique answered my question on the podcast about a holiday bazaar. I wanted to report back that her advice was solid. I only sold the smaller DIY kit boxes. I was left with so much to bring home. I was bummed, but I pivoted, determined to not get stuck with all these cookies. So I turned to social media and I posted locally. Plus, I took a bunch to work. The response was overwhelming. I'm now getting requests for Christmas boxes and PYOs. I have orders scheduled out, and my local business owner is asking for cookies for her business. My takeaway is to research your audience before agreeing to a fair, but also to pivot quickly if things don't work. Thank you for all your help with the
Nice.
cookie community, and Merry Christmas.
That's awesome. And thanks for
Mhm.
the follow-up. Typically, we don't get follow-ups on the question. So it's
I
nice to
know.
hear
Thank you
that
guys
one
so
went.
much for texting in. It's 571-556-5644. Corey, this is a question for you. Hi, how about a holiday themed get to know you question? What songs are on the top of your holiday playlist? Okay, it's so funny. Spotify came out with Spotify Wrapped last week, and it was interesting because it just kind of tells you what your listening habits were for the last 365 days.
Yeah.
And then it added your listening age, which I think was new this year. Corey's listening age was 82
You need to.
years
A
old.
lot of Nat King Cole. You know what I actually play throughout the year is Kenny G. He is a
Corey's a jazzy
jazzy.
girl, a
He has
saxophone.
the yeah, he plays the best Christmas lineup for if you just wanted something playing in the background. And I usually just have it playing in the kitchen. So when I
Corey
go in and
has
use
Kenny G spouting
oh,
off out
I'm
of a
going to tell you,
saxophone at
Kenny
any
G, I was his 0.05% number one listener. I don't know who has me beat.
hilarious.
Probably Kenny himself, to be quite honest.
That's
Did
so
you know the
funny.
Jonas Brothers had Kenny G on stage and he
No
played
way.
the Titanic one?
Oh
Yeah,
no way. I'll have to
Kenny
watch it on YouTube.
made a little.
So Corey will find Kenny G in any iteration, but right now I guarantee you she's pummeling herself with the Christmas. That and Josh Groban probably. All
Josh
my
Groban,
sisters Spotify Wrapped had him on
yeah,
there.
he has Noel is his Christmas album name, and it
Very
is
good.
he's a very great singer, very great. So
Yeah.
those are my Christmas ones.
I was in the 0.007% listening to Dateline on Spotify.
0.007 or point
Uh-huh.
zero seven.
Uh-uh. I listen to
Two
it every night.
zeros?
Yeah, I actually let it play every night for an hour before I go to bed. It's the
Who
minute
has
that
you
that guy,
beat? Probably whoever's editing the thing.
yeah, I just let him play, and then I'll try to wake up and be like, where did I leave
They're
off?
not
And
making
then
that many new datelines for you to, you're
no, they aren't.
re-listening.
I'm catching up from stuff that was posted 10 years ago. I just found the
Oh.
Spotify playlist. They update it every once in a while, but yeah, I know. The day I hit the bottom of the bucket is a day I never sleep again, I guess.
That's so funny.
That and Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, Morgan Wallen.
Summer beat me out for Morgan Wallen. I like to call him Morgan Whalen, so she always has to correct me. If you want to text in to the Baking It Down podcast with Sugar Cookie Marketing, you can either find us on most streaming apps and Spotify, and I think another one has just the button at the top says text in, it goes to the same
Yeah.
place, or you can text into 571-556-5644 and be entered to win the Cookie Design Lab month. However, if you do not win and you still want to sign up, the code TWINS saves you 15% off.
Yeah. But without you, that segment is very, very sad.
Very,
So we
very
we
sad.
need, if you are wanting to add to our, I'm just giving you ideas to text in. If you have something to add to our baker's gift list, we'll read it next week.
Oh, that would
That's a
be
great
great.
one.
That would be
Yeah,
so
something that we've
great.
missed. If you have tips and tricks of like you did your first cookie class and what worked for you, we love to know that. Your goals for 2026, would love to hear and be along for the ride.
Now, Corey said I have to get the signups for if you want to be interviewed. You do not have to be a proficient at anything. You just have to have a baker with a story, and we'll match you up to either 21 questions or we'll just ask your origin story or
Yeah,
talk
listen,
about a
you
specific
don't
event
even
you
have
did.
to be well spoken. We'll have the questions for you, and we're going to send you the questions ahead of time so you can review them so you don't feel like put on the spot. But me and Heather likes to be hostesses with the mostesses. So we're going to guide you. We're going to fill in it. We just want you to share your learned experience because it's different, it's unique, and it's valuable compared to other people. As you know, I don't do pre-sales a lot, but I want to do them more in 2026. So I would love to hear that people who focus on that, people who focus on markets, someone who taught classes and you do them virtually. I'm just giving you ideas. People who move around a lot and have to restart their businesses,
People
someone
who
who,
use charity marketing. I would love to know, like getting involved in charities, what that looks like, how you
yeah,
handle it. Would it
someone
be?
with a gaggle of kids and how you juggle that, someone
Amy said,
who's
"Girl, I was already on the
yeah.
podcast. What more do you want from me?"
Someone who military based family and how you navigate selling on bases and things like that. So
Uh-huh.
just
I really
some
like that.
things we'd love to hear
I will
from
get that
you.
form up for you guys. You hear
Yeah,
me?
we hear.
Okay, my computer is just frozen. Do you have a
Frozen.
post you thought got a lot of
I actually
engagement?
do. I actually do.
Please.
So it's not necessarily a post that got engagement, but it was a good post for the week that I
I
found.
love it. I love it.
So this is by Julie Taylor. She actually made this the other day. Thank you to the twins and this great
Corey's like
group
my
of
favorite thread
bakers.
ever.
I know. This order came through the week before Thanksgiving. A gal asked if she could order 600 decorated Christmas cookies for the Friday after Thanksgiving. I wasn't too busy, so I started running numbers through my head and I figured I could do that. I said, yes. She then said, good. Since you can do that, can you add an additional 600 uniced for the 7th? I said,
600.
sure. Crazy, crazy emoji face. At this point, I was thinking of some kind of scam. Sent her an invoice and she paid online right away for the first order, but not the second order. I was still thinking a scam. So after a few days of waiting and already baking, I decided to call her. She worked there and I was relieved. I did call in the troops, AKA my sister. My sisters, they were both like, I can flood, but I can't decorate.
Hey, fair.
within
I've been there,
within
girls.
30 minutes, I had them trained and build up their confidence that they became decorators. Another duster refused to decorate, so she was on bagging and labeling. Those 6 boxes of cookies were cake boxes and held 90 cookies each, and I used 2 of my regular boxes because the reindeer were fragile.
Oh,
The other picture is a sample of some of the cookies. Never would I have attempted to do this without the advice and knowledge of Heather and Corey that they've given out on this site in their podcast and the support from my sisters. My husband mixed easily 36 batches of dough
gosh, you
and
got
bagged
everybody in
cookies.
this.
Yeah, she really. My daughter Ryan is my partner in crime who's always shaking her head when I do things like this. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm shaking my head at you. I'm Ryan. Daughter Ryan, I feel you. Shake your
But
head and
wow,
strap up.
great job. And utilizing your family and them seeing on the inside of your bakery is such a great way for them to be like, wow, this is a real deal.
Yeah, well, Corey will teach our family a Thanksgiving cookie class, and they're always like, "Oh, it's a lot harder than it looks."
It's a lot
This
harder.
we get why
This
you
is
don't do what
a
you
little
do.
bit harder. I see
Okay,
why we
I'm so
are
sorry.
you.
I did think of the one I wanted to say. It was so
Sure.
funny. This one got it's okay. So she's going to a vendor market and she wants to do naughty or nice cookies. It was so funny. She said, I think I'm going to try this out. She was asking if anybody had. And I said, I've never seen this before. If you do this, please report back.
Yeah.
But she was doing like Santa with a beard with sprinkles on it, like sugared sprinkles.
Yeah.
sugaring sprinkles? One of the where's that crystally
Yeah,
stuff? But in
sanding
the
sugar.
other one, the naughty cookie, he would have salt sprinkles on
Oh,
his beard.
that's
So you
oh,
could,
is
it would be kind of like a
you would
gimmick
buy
on
a
with
gag gift for somebody
yeah,
that's
I'll read it to you. It's Rebecca. She said, so I have this idea for a Christmas cookie set, naughty and nice, but with a twist. It would only be two identical cookies that have sugar sprinkles on them, except one is actually salt, naughty, while the other one is sugar, nice. Kids would not know which one is which since they would look exactly the same. Of course, I would put a mark on them at the bottom so a parent would know what is the difference. And then it's this cute little Santa tip. I thought that was so funny. Someone
that's so
had
unique. Yeah.
yeah, if my computer wasn't operating at 1 year per millisecond, I would
Yeah.
tell you somebody had another option that was a pretty interesting idea as an alternative if the salt was like too aggressive, but you can find those comments there. Let me just see. There's me saying this is so funny. Please report back. She said, called them like bean boozled cookies, like the bean boozled, were those jelly beans?
Yes.
That would be funny. Oh, someone said, I thought this was a pretty good take on it. Why don't you make one sour and then one that is sweet? So
Oh,
use a
that's
sour sugar
interesting.
versus salt.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so a kid probably, the salt might make you like salt might be a little like woo.
You
Although
know,
I try to drink
a
my
little
salt.
salt cuts the sweetness just
I
ever
yeah,
so
watch them be like, this is the
nicely.
best
Yeah, I
I've ever
know.
tasted. What's your recipe? Like,
This is
shoot,
great.
my gag thing. But I thought that would be super funny. Of course, some people would remove. Okay. Listen, guys. You just if somebody has an idea, you don't need to take a giant dookie on it. I just say it's a funny idea. Please let us know. Not everything has to be like I don't like this. Yeah, of course not. You're not pizza. You can't please everybody, and there's still people who don't like pizza. But yeah, so let me clean that up. That said, that's very funny. And that's, I know I'm just joking here a little bit, but that's what I try to hope that the cookie group is. You can have a brainstorm idea. The lady said, I'm
Yes.
not strapping a kid to the floor and shoving salt into their mouth. It's a
Yeah, I
little
know.
gimmick. Let's see if it works. I like to keep this a safe space, and we usually stay pretty on top of that so that you can have your ideas and talk about it and come up with a unique twist. Let's do
Yeah.
sour. That'd be super
Just
funny.
something to see to add. Gag gifts, white elephant gifts are big around the holidays, and that would be pretty, pretty funny, I will say.
A kid would love that. I bought the Bean Boozled thing. It was disgusting. I was like, this is so crazy. Give me another one. Let's see if I can guess if it tastes like booger.
A booger. What does a booger taste like?
I don't know. They had
Let
so
me ask my
many.
5-year-old tell.
They had so many. Just ask your son, I'm sure. They had so many options for that. So it's pretty funny. I thought that was a pretty creative idea, especially because they'd have the option to buy it, if
Yes.
you want to play the
Yeah.
joke on people. So that one, okay, let's go through our sponsors real quick. I know I mentioned some of them in the gift things. Eddie's a sponsor. We talked about that. EddieCon. They don't run a discount, so if you want to check that out, you can go check on Primera's website for EddieCon. I think they still have tickets. Cookie Design Lab, 15% off if you use code TWINS. Daisy makes code TWINS10 to get 10% off. That's a cake pop mold lady. She is a blast. She brought a lot of people to the event. So if you're new here and you're listening to this first time, welcome. Baking Me Crazy, favorite twin, saves you 10% off. That's a baking supply shop. Royal Batch by Bakey Bake, code TWINS saves you 10% off. And the Bosch Nutrimilcell, use the code Sugar Cookies, save $20 off of that. Without the
Nice.
sponsors, there's
Nice.
no podcast. So you guys go
Yeah.
shop with them. It seems like they're enjoying
Yeah.
it. So
So
thank you so
the
much.
people listening who aren't the bakers, if you sponsor the podcast by buying from the sponsors, it keeps us going.
Keeps us going.
Gives the
And
baker in your life something to listen to.
when you use those discount codes, it tells them that you found them from us. So it definitely
Yeah.
helps them stick along with us. And then you guys get the podcast for it and discount codes. What more could you want?
Yes. Yes.
Do
Something
you have a
to,
Twinterest? In this
okay.
massive gift list we've gone through, usually our Twinterest, this is a segment where we just tell you stuff that we find interesting, which typically, unfortunately, ends up at the
Twinteresting.
mall.
I know. So we did end up at the mall for, here's the
Candle
thing, I got a
Day. Oh,
20% off to Bath and Body Works. And it was also candle day. So the candles that were 3 wicks were 9.95 and
plus,
you got 20% off. So
yeah,
we are actually doing a white elephant gift for my family. It's just a better way to make Christmas
last
enjoyable for
longer.
everyone.
Uh-huh.
Here's the thing, because our family is divided. We have our cousin's family and we have our family and my grandmother. So she's the top of the tree and we all go to her house on Christmas Eve, but everyone's just buying stuff for my grandmother because we do our individual Christmases on
Question:
Christmas
are you
Day.
getting something for Gams?
I have to.
Oh
Last
shoot!
year I got a picture of her and her favorite
Oh, that's
grandchild, not
hilarious.
I.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it's still there.
Gab said she hated that all the attention was on her for a straight 1 hour. So we added this fun thing that everyone gets a gift and it includes both sides of the family. So the spending limit is $50.
As well as
So
with the
I
Candle Day
got
sale, she could get five. Did you get
I
it
got
from office?
no, I just thought I'd pick them up on this weekend.
Oh, okay.
grab them for me. I had the TV in the back of the car from the cookie class,
Yes,
and there's
yes,
nothing that
yes.
can go
We
in there
did teach
because
a
it's
cookie class.
ginormous. We had a new TV that my sis I bought it for my sister for Christmas, and she
Five
no
years
longer.
ago.
Yeah, doesn't use it, so she gifted it back, which I
And
appreciate.
such
So we
is a
use it in
circle
class.
of, yeah, it was really nice. It was very bright and punchy and it was large.
If I buy something for somebody, I want the option to get it before you trash it or
First
donate
right of
it.
refusal.
Yeah,
Bring it back to
I
me on it.
liked it, so that I bought it for you. So mine is 5 different scented candles
Very
from
good.
Bath and Body Works.
I thought that was a great gift. And okay, biased, helped pick them.
She did. She
But
did.
did you
Cinnamon
see?
was big on Heather's
Did you
list.
see I gave it to Gam? She was so excited when she smelled mine. And
What,
I said,
cinnamon?
yeah, Corey and
Oh,
I
you gave
went and a
this.
candle, and I, of course, added my own to it. But Ruth Ann was like, oh, cinnamon, I love it. And I was like, well, if you watch my cat munch, which is why I'm getting photos, I'll give you cinnamon.
Well, I bought you peppermint, so you still got one out of
Oh, I
it.
paid you for it.
I That was a gift.
Oh, I didn't know. I paid you for that. Do you got my
You're
PayPal?
what? Remember
I'll
I
PayPal
said
you.
add
I
it,
thought
and
I
you
was
were
like,
like, "Who's
what
it
was it like?
for?"
Add it. Why not be impulsive? Or was it like, add it? I got you,
Honestly,
kiddo.
cinnamon, I wasn't even going to charge you for it, nor peppermint. It was both gifts, but you paid, so.
Yeah. Well, I did. I bought three. I think I bought another winter. Yeah, I do. I'm burning it
Oh,
right
you
now.
bought more. Okay.
Yeah.
So is that my gift? Winter. Do you pay for all three?
Yeah,
Cinnamon, peppermint, and
I
winter?
did. Do you not check your PayPal receipts?
I have not. Usually, if nothing's
Wild.
coming there, it's depressing. I don't like to see
Yeah, no,
such a
I
low
paid you for all
balance.
three. I paid you $8 for each one. Rounded up at
Eight
7.95.
dollars. It was from 7.95. You're right. You overpaid. So
Well,
that's my
thanks.
my gift. What's your gift for this?
Oh yeah. Okay, so I decided that I was going to get into rug tufting in 2026. Long story short, someone tried to rip me off for a rug I tried to buy, and it has ignited my
You need a
origin.
hobby, and this will be a good hobby.
Yeah, so Corey and I, when I get back, I'm out of town right now. That's why we're doing it on Zoom. But I've signed us up against her will for a rug tufting class at the mall.
I know
Yeah,
it will be against my will, but I'm willing to try anything like I did the wreath class the other
yeah.
day.
I just need to have a foundation. It's not actually a class. Just they just kind of set you up and tell you how it works, and you can kind of finagle. I just need to get some feeling in my fingers on how what I need for like supplies and stuff.
Yeah. So what day is that? The 19th?
Uh-huh, at 12.
At 12, middle of the day, middle of
No,
the
middle of
day.
the night, midnight.
Oh, great. Midnight tufting, just what I wanted.
But it seems like I was telling Corey, there's a correlation now. I'd be curious if you pick up on it between rug tufting, which uses heavy in projectors,
Yeah.
and cookies that uses the only difference is the consistency, but you could change out the yarns that you use.
Yeah.
They say the what separates the men from the boys in tufting is the ability to shave your rugs.
I just like lettering our florals is
Yes,
what,
and they said like you can tell a new tufter from a
yeah.
seasoned tufter is how they shave.
If you need an Archon mount, I have another one gifted from my sister.
Oh, maybe
Ashley, yeah.
I'll have to see it. Maybe they use the same projector. You just need a guidance to get started in a hobby.
And I think I have a projector if you need it as well.
I might need
You're ready
those.
to roll. I've got you ready to
Yeah, considering
go.
that they're
I
$250.
know, I know, I know.
Why do you have so many projectors?
Oh, I can't decide what I
So why didn't you
waited.
pick this one that you're giving me?
I bought one that I couldn't figure out, and it's just me, and I didn't sit down with it, and
Uh,
I deserve a spanking for that.
well,
I
regift it to
couldn't
me.
get the image to fit, like it was like wonky, like big on one side, so I ended up just getting a new one. But I still have this one because I can't
I'll fix it.
fathom.
I'll
Yeah,
fix
and
it.
and you would, so that would be great. I might
The
have to just get
circle
it
of
cool.
life. The circle of hobby life.
Yeah, I
Well, okay, on Sunday
yeah.
at Jen's birthday, bring the mount and the
I will
projector.
bring both. I'll bring both. You might,
Yeah, it'll be
if
very
I don't have
nice.
his little cord, had him for a number of years.
I'll
He's
figure it
high
out. I
quality.
probably have the cord.
I'm sure. So I'll bring him. You can figure
My
him out.
cord organization is bar none.
That will make me feel better about the guilt
I'll
that
tell
I've
you what,
hidden for many years.
re-gifting something you didn't use to somebody who does use it is the
Is
second redemption.
it
It
it makes
eliminates
me,
your sin.
yeah, it does. It really
Yeah, it
does. So
really
I'll be glad to give
does.
him a new, stretch at life outside of my
Stretch
drawers.
on a rug. And
Stretch
actually, oh
him.
yeah, our sisters, we do a sister gift exchange.
Yeah.
I got the rug tufting gun from Ash.
You're just, and then you said, Mom, you were going to get like a gift card for
And
the
because I don't know
yarn.
what supplies you need, so I need to go to this class on the 19th so I understand. I think you got to buy a canvas and the frame, and then you got to buy the
I wonder if
yarn.
the yarn can just be like Michael's yarn, like you just go and get different Michael's yarn.
it seemed broad, like, it seemed wide open. It seems like the cost for them is maintaining all those yarn colors versus, bakers, you just have to maintain the
The
drip,
gel,
the
the
gel.
gel food
This
coloring, but
one, their
yarn would take up some
walls. Yeah, they
space.
have these walls of bookshelves of yarns of various
Yeah.
colors.
See, it's a hoarding situation, whatever a
A
hobby is
hobby is a
that.
hoarding too. That's why the selling of the shovels, that the cook in a room or just hobby
Yeah.
in a box, that's
Yeah.
great storage because my mom's into carding. She fights the same battle.
Yeah. And she has just the best carding room you could ever possibly want.
Yeah.
Punch in the air. I don't live in there myself.
You look at your cute little setup.
Punch in the air. Oh, this has worked really well for me.
How much is that
This,
sign behind you? That'd be an interesting gift.
I want to say it was 700.
Ugh. Why is it not in your room by the privacy of only yourself sees it?
I want him to be on the wall, but I couldn't decide where I wanted that
Put him
wall
right up
spot to
there.
be.
Right
Right
there.
here?
Over.
There?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So we can see
This?
him. If we do this virtually,
Oh,
you
so
can
like
see it.
this?
Yeah.
That's not a bad. Gotta find a stud. Oh wait, he's downstairs.
He's
not listening.
Does he watch these? I thought he did.
Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. He's actually put all his PTO. He's now
You
in his
hate it when he does that. You
PTO
hate it when he
time.
does this.
We're there. We're
He
in the
doesn't work for the
PTO.
next 3 weeks, and Corey will come and be like, "Do you want to go to eat?" And you got to get out of the house.
So we are in the thick of it.
Okay, well, that wraps up today's podcast. I will be sending this out in the Wednesday newsletter, which you could go to sugarcookiemarketing.com/newsletter to sign up for before I send this out and get this link to the spreadsheet that Corey and I spent a couple hours going through, and we were like, do you like this? No, no, no. Do you like this? Can we go to T-Bear?
Like, oh,
So,
look at the price of this. This has gone up.
yeah, it's always funny to go back and see what's there. But this is a nice comprehensive list. I'm proud of it. I would say, and I don't even bake. I'd be stoked to get anything on this list.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We can't wait to go into the new year with you. We have a few more podcasts before we get there, but I want you to be thinking about, as you listen to the podcast and your weeks of baking for your December cookies, what you want your 26 to look like.
Corey and I have been spending all of the last 2 months of 2025 talking about this for ourselves as well. And I think it is the baptism to end one year and start a new one. I have to start recreating my tracking spreadsheets that I do every year. It's always my ceremonial closing of the books, closing of the Excel doc, and opening a new one. So yeah, we'll see you guys next week on Tuesday. And then hopefully we start having some guest people on this bad boy.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I can't wait.
I cannot wait for it.
Just need Kenny G to close us out. Okay, goodbye.